You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. Alrighty. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Right. Come on in. Come on in. You already know what it is. Okay. All right. Where we at? All right. Come on in. Facebook, YouTube. Y'all know what we're talking about. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sharice. Uh, It's my headphones. I might not even need no headphones. All right. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Well, Martin, I'm here. I just let y'all know I was here. Thank you. Oh man, this sweaters is something else. Yeah. All right, come on in, people. We need to. I need you guys to bring me. I need you guys to make sure you hit the like button. We had like 80 some people on here yesterday with YouTube, and I only had like 30 some likes or somewhere up in there. But I need some shares, people. That's why I gave you guys time to come on. You already know what it. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth. Hit that like button. Shame the devil. Hit the like button. I love being black. Hit that like button. My YouTube family showing out. Pretty soon, it's like I'm just gonna be on YouTube. Tell you. Yeah. So we're gonna with this part 2. I was 4 hours yesterday. Yeah, all right. 4 hours yesterday, man, and y'all know I was whooped, but we made it. We made it. Come on in. I need some shares. Let's get these numbers up, people. I need so many likes. All right, I got 14 people on here. I should have at least 14 likes on the page. That's what I should have. Come on in. All right. We need to bring some attention, some awareness to what's going on tonight. We're going to do it. How many shares I got? 5 shares, y'all. Come on now. It's crazy. Y'all sickening. 5 shares. All these comments. 5 shares. All right, let's get to rolling. As you already know.
Next order of business is the appointment. We shall appoint the election judges. The next outburst will be removed from the caucus. The election judges are as follows: Kobe Chapman, Jason House, and Chief Judge Kiana Gillespie. The parliamentarian for this evening is none other than Bert Olson. And our secretary is Casey Nesbitt. We have our Sergeant of Arms, Edward Bowman, and Assistant Sergeant of Arms, Perry Steele. Next, we're going to open the floor for nominations. We're going to open the floor. You have not been recognized. Okay, but how y'all
So have a seat.
Carl Washington has been recognized.
All the people are outside. How you starting a meeting without the people?
Please proceed, Mr.
Like
Washington.
people are outside. Y'all didn't let the people start coming in at 6:30. Y'all gotta let the people leave. This is not right. Y'all have to.
Get out.
So the person that you see in that pink, that's Cat, this is Supervisor of Thortontownship, Tiffany Henyard. Also, she's the mayor of Dalton as well.
Let them leave, Napoleon. You started to leave without the voices. That's not right. That's
Mr. Washington, you can have the floor.
Come to the front.
Please repeat your motion, Mr. Washington. I make a motion to nominate the Napoleon Harris slate.
Come on now, you know that's not right. You know that's not right.
Township Court, Casey Nesbitt. The Highway Commissioner, Antoine Russell. The Township Assessor, the Township Board, press people, bring you more order. The motion has been seconded. All in favor of the Napoleon Harris placing and nominating for the 81st Consolidated Thorntownship, say aye.
Ah! Out of here. She's out of here. She's out of here. She's out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. It's out of here. She's out of here. She's out of here. Get out of here. She's out of here. Don't that? Yeah, she's voted out. She's out. She's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Get her out of here. Security, get out of here. She cannot run. Yo, this is crazy. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for you.
As a recap, the Democratic slate that will represent Thornton Township at the April 1st consolidated election reads as follows. For Supervisor, Napoleon Harris.
Yeah.
Chris Gonzalez, Mary Yvonne, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out and participating in the caucus.
Yeah.
All right, people, y'all just witnessed that I didn't know what was going on yesterday. I figured it out, and I figured it out. Well, actually, we talked about it yesterday. We was on live for like almost 5 hours trying to figure out what was going on. Because actually, my initial thought that I thought Tiffany was no longer the Thornton Township supervisor. So I found that out to not to be true. She still is the Thornton Township supervisor until April. Okay, so what happened here today, for those of you that don't understand the process, which I didn't understand the process, by her being selected, she was not elected to the position. So they went back, dug back, and got an old 30-year policy and snuffed her off the ballot, the Democratic ballot, to be on the ballot to run for Thornton Township supervisor again. So that's what you witnessed. And also, I believe you see the gymnasium was crowded already. So I believe in that they had something earlier, a banquet or a fundraiser or something. So they was only letting few people in at a time. I heard they was asking people for their ID to make sure that they lived in the township, Thornton Township. So that's what I thought. And also, it actually, I believe that this took Tiffany by storm. And she really wasn't probably expecting this. But they did it. They did it anyhow. And it is what it is. Now, is it legal? I'm told that what they have done is legal. Maybe they might not went about doing it right. I don't know. And I was told that the people that they got on the caucus are all the people that don't like Tiffany. So, it is what it is. This is politics, people. If you're going to play, you got to play the game. And that's it. So that's what that is. We're taking calls 872-299-0707. No, 0808. I'm sorry. 872-299-0808. And we're taking also the number that's directly over my head is 872-297-6389. If you can't get in on that number, call the other number, 872-299-0808. So that was going on for those that don't know what's going on. So that's what's going on. She's still the Dalton mayor. She's still the supervisor of Thornton Township until April. She's no longer on the ballot. Now, can she still run? She can't run as an independent. She can't run as a Republican. That's over. She can only run as a write-in. That's it. All right. That's where we at. So, all right, people. And that's right. Burgundy Blue said so it was really like a chess game, really a chess game. And I agree with her on that because me personally, we got a call coming in right now. Personally, I didn't know I've never heard of that process. And plus a lot of you guys know that I'm not political like that. I am political, but not like to that point to know all those rules and regulations. They went in the old playbook and pulled a trick out, a rabbit out of the hat on her. Yeah. And some people say they're glad. Some people they say they sad about it. Again, let me say for my claim, my disclaimer.
Talk Therapy Podcast.
Yeah. All right. We got to hold on, my brother. I want to say I'm not being paid by Tiffany Henyard. I'm not being paid by no other entity that's going against her or representing her. I'm doing this because I want to do this. So I'm just letting y'all know I'm not on neither side. And listen, I don't have a dog fight in it. That's Dalton. That's a Thornton Township fight. I'm watching the far off and I'm learning as I go how these politics, or I call them politics, work. Okay, my brother, you're live, uncut, unedited. 0426. Come on, brother. Talk to us, podcast, brother. All right. Come on, talk with us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Martin. Good evening to everyone watching, tuning into your show. I'm in the same boat as you. You know, I don't live in Dalton, right? I don't live in Thornton Township. So I'm kind of, an outsider looking in, but I can still give my opinion. And I just wanted to focus kind of on what I've seen in the media, how Tiffany Henyard shows up to meetings late. She's always, making late for her to show up to a meeting, everything like that. And apparently that's what happened last night, and the table was turned, right? So, they're saying that she had bus loads of people, of her supporters that were supposed to come. Her argument was it was unfair because everybody didn't get let into the meeting. Now, as she's standing there saying that, I'm looking at the video and I'm going, well, where are they going to go? Because that was a packed house, man. If you look from top to bottom, there was no more room. So she was sitting there making an argument that it was unfair that her people couldn't get in. But I'm looking like, where are they going to sit? Where are they going? I mean, it was packed already. So, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lawsuit coming for her behalf, but I think that the township now has to take this opportunity and capitalize off of it. This Napoleon guy, and I can't remember his last name, but, he's a senator. And so, sounds like a pretty good option that they came up with, but I think we also need to focus on what's going to happen for them come what is that, February, right? When the election time comes, I think. So, they got Jason House, who's supposed to be running for mayor. He's a pretty good candidate. But, like I said, I'm an outsider looking in, but this is very, very interesting. I've covered this story a lot on the pod, but Tiffany Henyard is definitely going to go down as one of the most interesting mayors Chicago has ever seen.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard? I don't know how much you are into politics. Have you ever heard of a policy what they did yesterday about the caucus? I've never heard of that before. Have you ever experienced or know of a case like that happened?
Well, no. And the reason why is because it's not often that it's done. the township, from my understanding, hasn't done one for a very long time, over a decade now. But there was 5 or 6 other caucuses held in the township, around the township, on the same night that they had that one for the supervisor position. And so the main reason would be, what people have to understand is the reason why she was not able to get her name on the ballot was because she didn't have a assessor, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have an assessor in order to run for township supervisor. She didn't have that. But yeah, the township has not had one in well over a decade.
Okay.
But this was something that they came up with. And, they have, like I say, the guy that they have running, he seems like a pretty much upstanding guy. I haven't did any research on them yet. Hopefully the community has, because as we get people out of office that we no longer want, that doesn't mean any good. And I'm not saying that.
Okay, just hold it right there. You said enough. Hold it right there, brother. Let me take this new caller right here. Last 4 digits, 9999. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Martin, it's Mother Diva.
Hey, Mother Diva, how you doing? Help me out, Mother Diva, because I'm learning about this process, the caucus, and I know you very well, deep into politics, and you can explain this to me. I don't know why I didn't call you last night. Go ahead.
That's okay. So let me just say this.
Turn your Facebook down. Turn your Facebook down in the background, or social. Somebody need to turn their social media down. Okay. Put your phones on mute.
I already know the rules here. I already know the rules here.
All right.
Okay. So what I want people to understand that Thornton Township, as well as any township, as well as any city, they have bylaws. Okay. And whatever the bylaws say, that's what you go by. What has happened in a lot of these situations is that they don't start digging into the bylaws and start looking at what they can do or what they cannot do from a legal perspective or from their bylaw perspective until something happens that they don't like. Now, to be fair, because I've been watching this whole situation with Ms. Henyard for a while, just like anybody else. To be fair, she should have been allowed to speak, and her people should have been allowed to come in there. Just to be fair, I am not in agreement with how she has handled things as far as the township being a township supervisor, as well as what has happened in Dalton. But a lot of this is agenda. If you know, and I don't have Napoleon is actually my state senator. So here's the thing: according to the rules, and you can look this up, and the news has reported it. You cannot hold a position and then be running for another position.
That's what I thought.
That was something that was put either in the bylaws or the law now. So that means this is what's been reported. You can pull it up. So this is what I'm saying.
Mama Diva, hold it right there. Sir, do me a favor. While you said that's not true, could you research it real quick and pull it up and put it on the screen or something? Or I'll wait on you, but I'm gonna let her talk if you said that's not true. Can you back it up?
I was just gonna go because I just got through reading it where the news had reported this.
Okay.
But if that be the case, if Napoleon is now going to be the new township supervisor, then he's going to have to at some point step down from being state senator. If that be the case. Okay, I'm just telling you what was reported. So why don't you, if you know, then you look it up, because I was Googling the story, because this is what they said. This is what the news reported.
So
I do know this.
Okay, hold it, sir.
That you can't.
Hold it, sir. Let her talk.
You can't have like for example, let's talk about what happened with Sophia King. Sophia King ran for mayor, and in running for mayor, if she didn't win, she lost her position as alderman. Now, if she had ran for state senator and she lost, she could still be alderman.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
just a couple of things that I wanted to address that you said, sister. It's the first thing you said, that you think it was unfair that Tiffany Henyard didn't get an opportunity to speak, and you also said you thought that it was unfair because her people didn't get the opportunity to come inside. So I just want to remind people of how these type of meetings work. Once the assigned time, let's say the meeting was called at 6:30. After that, the doors are locked. No one else is allowed in the building, right? So that was one reason why her supporters were not allowed to come in, because they showed up late, like Tiffany Henyard always do, and they wasn't having that. So that was the reason why most of her supporters, from what I gathered, she actually had bus loads. She had a couple of buses going around picking her supporters up to bring them to the meeting. That's what made them late. Now, I don't know if that's happening.
Okay, well, what about all the times that people have walked in? I have walked into to township meetings and city council meetings late, but we're still allowed to get in there.
This was a caucus meeting. It's different.
Okay.
There's different rules, like you said, in the bylaws and everything. There's different rules and bylaws when it's a caucus. That's a special meeting that's held.
Okay.
Mr. Podcast.
So the time.
I have a question for you. Now, for you and Mother D, we got a new caller, but hold on, new caller. I see you. 9536, I see you. I'm going to get to you. My question is, would it have made a difference if her supporters came inside the gymnasium or not? Because they wasn't allowed to really vote anyway. Would it have made a difference? I'm asking the question.
Yes, it would have. And I'm going to answer.
Tell me why.
I believe so. But go ahead.
I'm going to answer that question in 1 second. Let me finish the second part to the other lady, where you guys wanted me to give proof that I think she said, and correct me wrong, but I think her statement was that Napoleon, since he's a senator, that he can't be the township supervisor and the senator at the same time.
No, that's not right? What I said. No. Okay,
what did you say? Because I want to make sure I answer the question.
Okay.
Right.
What I said was the news had reported, and I'm trying to pull up the story now, but the news had reported that because she's also up for re-election for mayor, that she can't hold these positions. They either enacted something where you can't run and be something else. I'm trying to pull the story up now.
Wait, no, I thought you have it correct. It was something specifically to Napoleon.
Okay, what I said was, if that be the case, then Napoleon would have to step down as state senator at some point if he is going to continue to be the township supervisor, because that is a 4-year position. His his term ends, according to Ballotpedia, in 2027. I'm not sure.
Well, I think
because Ballotpedia is not always accurate.
I think that was the part that I disagree with you, because I say that only because I bring reference to. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with Chris Welch. He's also a senator, but he's also the school board president for Proviso Township, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, we'll have to look into that because I'm not a politician. I don't know, but I wouldn't see how he would be able to continue to be a senator and an elected official. A school board president is an elected official out of people.
Okay. Sir, I need you to hurry up, man. I got 2 more callers, and I don't want to leave them on hold. If you want to answer my question,
okay.
I'm sorry, but I got 2 more calls. I don't want to have them on hold too long. You know how it is. You're a podcaster. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So now to answer your question really quick, Martin, you said if Tiffany Henyard supporters would have been able to get inside the gymnasium, would that have made a difference? My answer, yes, and I'm putting it real simple real quick, because they would have came in, they would have disrupted the whole entire meeting to the point where they wouldn't have been able to hold no meeting. It would have been her people, her supporters, against everybody that you saw up in there last night, and the Homewood Police Department wouldn't be able to hold them by themselves. There was over 600 people in there. Okay. So can you imagine if her, 30, 40 people, however many people it was that she had with her, got in that gymnasium They already didn't have no microphones. Couldn't nobody hear
okay.
what was going
Now,
on.
what I was saying, okay, I understand that. What I was saying is,
And I just want to be
hold on,
clear.
y'all-
I'm not a Tiffany Henyard supporter. I don't
okay.
want people to think that, but
Right.
I'm about being fair.
Right,
So thank
me
you
too.
for sharing that, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate you
Let me just,
informing me about the rules.
problem.
for
Mama
caucus.
Diva, let me just say this real quick. So what I'm saying, who are the players that voted for this caucus in this caucus? Was it do they have a board of members of caucus members? So that's what I'm saying. The public didn't decide this. It was the caucus, right? Am I correct?
No.
Well, somebody correct me. Go ahead, 36. Go ahead, 9536. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Martin? It's Bert.
Hey, Bert,
Okay,
how you doing?
so-
Help me out.
How you doing? Hello to your audience. So this is what I want to say. You have it right, but it gets kind of confusing. I put the link in your chat. It's July. Also, Mama Diva is correct too with a lot of stuff. They're both correct. It's just a little word play I want to change. So what she means so it's not the caucus, it's the Democrat of Thornton Township, and that's what Napoleon Harris is, our state senator, but he's also our Democratic committee man, right?
Right.
So yes, Mama Diva, I hope I'm saying it right. She's correct when she saw it on the news that they said that now, if you look at the link I put in the chat, you can go to the Lansing Journal and just find the caucus rule. That came out in July of 2024. Now, what I want to say is that's when the rules started to take kind of place. And guess who sets the rules? Our Democratic committee man, right?
Okay.
And that's Napoleon Harris. But people are like, well, he can't have seats. Guess who had 2 seats? Frank Zuccarelli, previously, who was the Democratic committee man for Thornton Township and the supervisor for Thornton Township and the chairman of South Suburban College. So you can have 1,000,000 seats, but they did put that rule in and said, hey, you know what? Now we're going to set a rule that says you can't hold 2 seats. So it's a conflict of interest for the mayor now to be the township supervisor. But when they nominated her, they didn't specify that back then when she took over. So remember, Tiffany wasn't elected. Right. It was a new rule. Yeah.
Right. She was
appointed. She was appointed.
Yeah.
So we never had a vote. Now, I also want to just say one more thing. When you guys said, would it make a difference if her people got in, Martin? I think you were asking.
Yes.
I can agree with your other caller as well. It was room. I was there. It was room for people to get in. It was. However, even if y'all want to count to the 200 people that was outside, it wouldn't have been enough to control the vote. So it may have, I can agree, it may have caused some kind of commotion. So that's why they didn't let them in. But I want to also say, again, with Mama Diva, it wasn't fair that they threw a party at 5:30, let their people in, right? Let their people in, and then it was just unanimous. So yes, it's a game of chess. I just wanted to say that. That's all.
Now, before I go to my next call, hold it. No. Let me get to this this next caller because I'm trying to get everybody. There's gonna be more people to call in. Okay, 5771. Come on, caller. Thank you for holding. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, call. You next, Mama Diva.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Good.
All right. I wanted to talk about the can't hold 2 offices because that's a very tricky law when you think about it. Yes, there is a law stating that you can't hold 2 offices. The problem is that it's only when the offices are incompatible with one another, which means that the offices that one person can hold cannot be subordinate to the other. So when you look at, say, in Illinois, you can't be, say, like the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois. That's an incompatible office. However, it's tricky when you talk about a township. Right. Even though a township is a governmental organization, it's not an organization that actually governs an area. A township is only a governmental organization that provides services. You notice that a township doesn't have a police force, They don't have a fire department. They technically don't own any land that they govern.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that because of the fact that the township is a different type of governmental organization, then they are allowed. So this is why somebody like Tiffany can be mayor of Dalton and also the supervisor of Thornton Township, because even though Dalton falls under township, the township doesn't govern Dalton. Dalton governs Dalton. So the township cannot like apply any rules or regulations or arrest anybody within Dalton, because they're a self-sufficient government. Now, the township does provide, money and stuff like that, but that's different from governing somebody.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. If you say that the seats, the two seats that she holds right now, one as the supervisor, one as the mayor, let's kind of take it back a couple of months where she was trying to oppose a new rule, if you will, that says that if another supervisor came in, that they would end up making significantly less than what she was making. That right there in itself is, problematic, right? So I think that from the beginning, that should have never been done, because whenever you
But I think that was in the bylaws, though. It was in the bylaws.
It was in the bylaws, but do you see how that becomes problematic then?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why, in my opinion, I just that it's not fair and it's not smart to have that dual representation like that. It should have been somebody different from the beginning.
Okay.
This
Oh, no,
was
I
just
mean,
to outsmart her and to get her out. They went and found some loopholes. They created new laws. You can always create this is what it took to get her out. They had to go and play chess, and they had to be slick about it because they want her gone. And I understand why they want her gone. She's been very problematic. But she's done some good things. She's had, a lot of street events where she's given away things to people and all of that. But on the flip side of that, it has been more negative with her than positive. So what they had to do was they had to go do extensive research, and they had to figure out what way they can legally get her out of there, and they found a way.
I want to say this before.
But here's the question:
Mama Diva,
are the next people gonna be the same way? Because when Democrats turn against each other, then it's always, well, are we replacing one devil with another?
Well, let me say this.
Well, that's the question I've been asking for a while. Because I've always said that Tiffany was never going to be reelected as a supervisor. She only got that seat because she was appointed. In an election, she would never win a supervisor.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this. Can I disagree with you on that? The reason why I disagree with you on that, and I'm not a supporter of Tiffany. I know Tiffany personally. I would say they knew they had to pull a tech, something like that, in their laws, because they probably wouldn't be able to beat her in an election. If they were so sure that they would be able to beat her, they probably would have just let her be on the ticket and run. That's why they did this. Why they did it this way. It was a chess game. They knew that they probably couldn't beat her. That's why they did it the way they did it this way. This is just my opinion, just an outsider looking in, just observing. Now, I could be wrong. Nothing I'm saying is written in stone.
She can run as a write-in.
Yeah, she can.
That's what they're saying now. She can run as
what's the likelihood of her winning that now? It's probably, people. I don't know. It probably could have happened.
Well, I want to say this from the ground level. I actually used to be an employee at Thornton Township. I live in Thornton Township.
Okay.
Live in South Holland 20-something years. Talking to a lot of people, because I was part of a signature campaign process a month month and there were a lot of people who were very discontent with Tiffany as a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying is that the base of her support would be from Dalton, because people hate when I say this. She actually does have a chance of being reelected as Dalton mayor. I will give credit to that.
I will agree with you on
However,
that too.
Township supervisor township supervisor was not going to be in the cards because of the fact that her only voter base was going to be from Dalton. Remember, the township is 150,000, 17 municipalities, and many of them, including South Holland, Calumet City, many of the major cities, was not going to vote for Lansing. She wasn't going to get no votes. So the only place that she was going to get it from was Dalton. Dalton technically only has 20,000 people, and only 20% at the most vote for a vote in that particular election.
Yep. Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, hold on. I see my friend on here, Sherry. Call in, Sherry, 872-299-0808. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? High school. Sherry's been involved, and she knows about politics, and she's right there. She's right there in the mix. But go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
What I don't understand is, you say that she has a chance of being reelected as mayor in April, but with all of the complaints and all of these city council meetings and all these people hollering and screaming, and now Mr. House has decided to run, so that's her competition, who was the trustee in Dalton. I'm just like, here's the problem with a lot of people. I have seen people complain about her, but they the first one in line when she giving out free turkey.
Uh-oh.
We have to stop that.
Well, that's going to happen anyway.
We have to stop the hypocrisy.
Anyway.
We have to stop the hypocrisy. And let me say this, and some people, may want to drag me for this, but it is more people that exist in the world or in a city than government officials. And what I don't understand is, why didn't the town just come together and shut the town down? I mean, they could not shop. They could withdraw their dollars and say, look, we're not going to spend no money in Dalton. We ain't paying no taxes. The fire department can say, look, you owe us money. We ain't putting out no fires. If people come together and withdraw their dollars from a situation, that situation will fall. You could go back to the Alabama bus boycott. When African-American people couldn't sit where they wanted to, they said, we're not going to ride the bus no more. And the bus company lost money. The best way to protest and to get change is to hit them in their pockets. I don't know if you guys remember when Jesse Jackson had put out a notice for all African-American people or Black people not to play the lottery for one day. It literally hurt the lottery. So if you really want to hurt a situation, hit them in their pocket. But it ain't going to take 1 or 2, 3 people or 5 people. It's going to take everybody to back away from that.
I disagree. I disagree with you on that. And I'll tell you why. Here's the thing. Maybe that works back in that time frame where boycotting and things like that were something that got the attention across the world, right? And that worked primarily back then because we're talking about a group of African Americans that were boycotting against white businesses and bus companies and things like that. You fast forward now to 2024, where shutting the town down, as you say, it's not the smartest idea for the simple fact that we do that, then we're not supporting the people that look like us, who are those business owners that are up and down Sibley Boulevard who are trying to provide for their family. So it won't be fair for them either. So what we have to do is we have to try to come up with a solution that's fair for both sides, right? And so I say in this case, I don't think she has a chance of getting reelected as the mayor in Dalton. And I honestly just say that because I see more people that don't support her than people that I do see that do support her. I think, it would have been great to have seen her supporters come in last night, because if you really think about it, I mean, I've never really seen Tiffany Henyard supporters in the large group or a large gathering, and so I just think that it's definitely going to be interesting. Jason House, he's familiar with Dalton, has the trust of the community. He's a trustee. and I don't know. I think he has a pretty good opportunity.
I hope he wins. And as the
Yeah.
Madam Ambassador of house music, I'm gonna play on them words and support him.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna read some of the comments. Sherry Hatcher said that it wasn't fair that Tiffany kicked people out and did not let people in board meetings for the last 4 years. So I guess karma came back.
That's true too.
Right.
So you got to look at that too.
Every meeting she showed up to, she was late, making the people wait. There was one meeting, the people was down there waiting for like 2 hours, something like that. And she counseled crazy stuff. So, eventually the tables are going to turn on you. And last night she met a match. They outsmarted her at her own game.
Yep.
Okay.
Last night.
Now maybe Sherry can answer this for me. I'm confused. I need to know how did they come about selecting the person that was going to be the next town supervisor on the ballot? Was it the audience did it, or did they have a select of people in that auditorium? That's what I want to know. I'm kind of confused. Help me out, people. I'm a little slow on this. Somebody can help me out.
The caucus who decided.
How many people was on the caucus that made that decision? Was it 100? Was it 10? Was it 15? What was the number? That's what I'm confused about. I'm trying to find out.
Who consists of the caucus? That's what we need to consist of.
That's what now that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So anybody have that information?
I didn't hear.
So we had Napoleon up there.
Right.
All right. We seen that we had I can't think of the young lady's name, but she was all over the internet when she got locked out of her office. The assessor.
You're talking about Cassandra Elston.
Thank you. So the assessor was up there. Who else was up there? You guys help me out. I know there was Sergeant at Arms that Napoleon appointed to the caucus. So they were up there. You know what, Martin? I still can't ask you a question directly, but I'm just naming some of them that were up there that were kind of voting and kind of going through the motions and bringing it out. Now, again, there was so microphone, I couldn't even really understand what was being said and what was being voted on, and there was a lot of chaos going on. But yeah, probably somebody that can explain to us, who consists of the caucus, how do they come up with that? Is that something that's already written in the bylaws? Call a special caucus. You already have members.
So hold it, podcast. Hold on, my bro. We're looking for a caller that can explain that to us. Please call in. We don't know everything. I'm just trying to find out some information. How many people are on the caucus that voted for the young man to be on the ballot, to take Tiffany off the ballot? So, I mean, who are the players? How do they go about selecting the process? I mean, what I heard, this is what I heard. I heard that he selected everybody that he knew that Tiffany didn't get along with. So that's a fix too.
Well,
so
I can give you who's nominated if that helps. Who's on the Democratic ticket.
Well,
so who's on the
I mean, that's cool, but I need to know how did they come about putting Napoleon on the thing? Who voted for him? What caucus members? Who are they? How many? Even if you don't have to.
For himself.
Oh, okay. He voted. Okay, well.
He nominated himself.
There are caucus judges that is appointed by the chairman. So basically, that's what happened in a particular caucus. See, we got to understand that a caucus is a replacement for primary, because they knew that this basically is a good way to center the vote instead of making it public. And then also too, for the primary, it probably costs more money primary than it does a caucus. So we haven't had a caucus in Thortontownship. Yeah, we haven't had a caucus in Township for 30 years. We haven't had a primary in
right, and they went and pulled that loophole.
because of the fact that Frank Zuccarelli has been ruling Thornton Township for 30 years. So there was no need to do a primary or a caucus, because whatever he said, whoever he supported, whoever he nominated, is always the people who won. This is why Frank, for the last 15, 20 years, ran on the poll. And it's probably
Who is
the
Frank?
reason why
Can you tell me who
Frank
he is?
Ziccarelli. Frank Ziccarelli. He's been
That's the
he was
predecessor.
he was the predecessor.
Oh, he
of
was the
Tiffany.
former
He-
township supervisor. Okay.
Yes, he ended up dying unexpectedly 2020, January 2020. So what ended up happening was, because according to township, needed 60 days. Point board needed 60 days a supervisor, and so what ended up happening was board couldn't come up with a unanimous decision because many people were being nominated, board, and from my understanding, even Napoleon, they didn't have a unanimous vote on him. So on the last day of the 60th day, before it got to a special election, Tiffany Henyard was nominated, and who nominated him? Who nominated her? Chris Gonzalez.
And Chris Gonzalez is a part of the caucus. He was up there last night as well.
He was nominated as a trustee. He's trying to run for re-election. So and I really hope people remember during the election.
It's important to also add, brother, if let's say if they couldn't have came to a decision on that 60th day, that means that they would have had to have an election, right? And decided they. Is that correct?
And that's really the way it should be.
So they avoided that process
yes.
by going ahead and electing her.
Yeah, they wanted. See, here's the thing. So that board that was there in 2022, they wanted somebody that they could control, and it basically backfired. Became supervisor because they thought they could control her. Because that board basically handpicked by Zuccarelli. Now, the problem is that Zuccarelli, being a kingmaker, when he died, he basically had a vacuum of leadership because that board couldn't run without Zuccarelli's leadership. And the board was basically, so this is why they went into this whole process of attempting to try to get the supervisor, because when they decided they wanted to get somebody they can control, and they basically backfired.
Well, if Tiffany was like that as a trustee, what made them think that they could control her? She's been like this all this time.
Well, here's the thing.
Like this. There was times, not cut you off, brother. There was times where a lot of things, I can't think of the mayor's name that was there before when she was
Mayor Riley.
A lot of things that she Riley. That was a lot of things. So correct him, call him out on. In the court meeting, hold him accountable. But now they're saying that even about years of her term, same exact thing that she's calling him out.
That was my exact point. This is what these people do. They call folks out for certain behavior, and then when they get in their position, they start acting the same way. And this is what it, and now that I understand what you're saying, when you said that one of the reasons why they don't hold these primaries is because it costs money. Now I understand that, just being educated by what you said, because this is not just about local politics. And local politics are very important, and local government is very important. But a lot of people felt this way when it came to Kamala Harris, because people felt like she was thrown onto the American people, and we didn't have a special election to vote for who we wanted to take Joe Biden's place. And the American people don't like that, and it's the same thing here. I think that when there's a situation where a person either has stepped down, if they died, if they got fired, there should be a special election and let the people vote them in, because the people are the taxpayers. The people are the constituents. These seats are supposed to belong to the people in the community. The person that has the seat is just the person, the figurehead that represents the people. These seats belong to us. I think that there's a
okay, we got okay. Okay. All right, whoever, I need everybody to put their phone on mute or turn.
So whoever, y'all need to turn that down.
Okay. people, hold on. Listen, people. I need everybody to put your phone on mute or turn your audio down, your Facebook or your YouTube, wherever you watch me. Turn it all the way down. You're on the phone. You still can hear and you still can see. We got two more callers. Hopefully one of them is Sherry. I know Helen she called first, so I'm going to take Helen right now. Helen, go ahead. 10003. Go ahead. Well,
Hey, Martin. Hello,
good.
Everybody on the panel. So I just, wanted to add, I kept watching that video. That video was very disturbing. And just, I got a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts today about that whole situation last night at the Homewood caucus. How the optics and how it looked. It made us look bad. Also, I was reading an article on Fox News. Hello?
Yeah.
I hear some.
Yeah, that was 603. You got to turn your background down, 603. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Helen.
Okay. And I heard, I was reading an article, and the article was by this, she was a lawyer. She was a lawyer out there, I believe for Dalton at one time. Her name is Terry Lynn. And she commented that the whole caucus, it was like, to her, it seemed that there was some violations in that, in the proceedings, in the way that it was ran. She also mentioned that there was a federal case. There was a federal case with the Libertarian Party. What they're saying, why they kicked Tiffany off the ballot was because she did not have a completed slate. So it happened to a Libertarian. It happened to the Libertarian Party. They took it to federal court. The federal court ruled in their favor, saying that recommendation or that what am I trying to say? Anyway, that it was too restrictive for candidates to only being allowed on the ballot.
Has joined.
Mm-hmm.
Being allowed on the ballot only if they have a restricted, only if they have a full slate or the recommendation for candidates to be on the ballot. They have to have a full slate.
Okay.
Now that went to the federal court and it was struck down because the federal court said that it was too restrictive and that should not cause anyone to be kicked off the ballot. That is ballot suppression. And so I believe that Tiffany has a case. And I believe that if she go to the federal courts, that they will strike that caucus down as being causing ballot suppression. Tiffany has every right to be on the ballot. That caucus was erroneous. It's ballot suppression, and it's also voter suppression.
Okay.
They would not, her people was there, even though her people would not be able to vote, just to be there and have the support that she would need. It was erroneous for them to do that. That was wrong. It was wrong. It was outright wrong.
You have to keep in mind that, and you have to look into this, that what the special caucus means. I believe that there's a cutoff time that people can be let on the inside of that meeting. And so from my understanding, Tiffany Henyard and her supporters showed up after the cutoff time. So that's why they was not let inside.
Okay.
It wasn't like they just said,
okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. No. Listen. Let me get to this new caller. We got people calling in. Let me get to this call. It might be Sherry. This might be 76.
Martin, when you get a chance, I want to say something, but go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
That's the truth.
People calling in 7684. Go ahead, caller. 7684. Last four digits. Hey.
Hey, it's me, it's Sherry.
I figured it was you. Go ahead now, Sherry. Lay this out to us. Explain this to us because people, I'm confused. You know, I'm not political like you guys, but explain this process to us. And I know you've been here from the beginning. Go ahead.
So first off, let me just say that, you know, everybody has very valid points, you know, all around the board. And a lot of it is because people just don't understand it. I'm not versed on it that well either because I have never been at a caucus before until last night. And let me just clear some things up. As far as they're saying that only her supporters were outside, that is 1,000% not true because there were a lot of people that could not get in, you know, and there were several reasons. It was a capacity issue. It was some people did not live in the village of Thornton Township. They were not registered Democrats. This was not a free for all. You had to be a registered Democrat, live in the township to even participate in this caucus. So that had a lot to do with what was going on with people not getting in. Now, it could have been at a bigger.
Sir, please let it talk.
That part I don't know, but what I will say is there was a Republican caucus in South Holland. The room only held 60 people. They had about 50 people show up. Nobody said anything about that. And another thing, as far as her not getting on the ballot, Tiffany didn't pass not one petition. Why? Because she knew it was going to be a caucus. She knew that. And so she's not telling you guys that. She knew that there was going to be a caucus. She knew that she was not she couldn't be the Democratic nominee. She couldn't do that. So why would she just show up late to a caucus and decide I need to be on here? You had to have, there was no accredited assessor on her ticket as well.
Correct.
So, I mean,
wait a minute. Are you telling me that Tiffany Henyard didn't go out and get no signatures?
No, she did not.
No, she did not.
Nope. And she didn't have an assessor.
And she didn't.
Well, how do you expect to get on a ballot without signatures? You have to have signatures.
So, but again, she didn't. So, I mean, well, again, she did not have signatures.
Follow the process.
But again, she didn't, but she knew something. So she didn't. It wasn't like she found out about this caucus 2 days before. She knew. That's why she didn't get signatures, because when she found out it was a caucus, she thought she was going to be able to show up with a bunch of people, and it doesn't work that way. It was a Democratic caucus. That means you had to be a registered Democrat within the boundaries of Thornton Township to be there, to be a delegate, to be anything, to be in that room. That's what should have happened. Now, and another thing she did that was 5,000% illegal was she brought people to that caucus with a bunch of Thornton Township buses. That was electioneering, and that was illegal. You cannot do that. Now, the Cook County clerk's office can 1,000% tag her for that. She couldn't do that
again. What did she do that was illegal?
She brought people in. She bussed seniors in with township her supporters in with township buses. Now there were people who got off those buses who said, hey, they came, they still not voting for it, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm not gonna get on here and bash her. I'm just telling you guys the truth.
Hold it.
It's illegal. You can't. Those are township buses. Now she would have purchased her own coach buses from whoever. She could have did that, but that's electioneering. She used township vehicles. That's illegal.
And check this out. And that's why she was late. And that's why she was late last night, because she was going around the township picking up these people to bring them to a meeting that had already started. And she was walking in towards the end of the meeting and wanted to have her 2 cents.
Okay.
First of all,
Can I add something?
Okay. Let's. We got a new
Can I
caller,
add
people.
something to this?
Hold it. 215. Let's hear what he has to say. Go ahead, 215. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to talk, so we got time. Go ahead, 215. Area code. Go ahead, sir. I don't know what happened. It got silent. I don't know what happened, y'all. I don't hear nobody. I don't know what happened, people.
Hello?
Yeah. Area code. Okay, y'all here. Area code 215. I was allowing you to talk. Area code 215.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I was just agreeing with Sherry. She doesn't follow no rules. She doesn't line things up correctly. She just like to bulldoze through and get the result she intended to get. So no, she did not follow protocol. First of all, she did have a tax assessor. She locked her out of her office the last 2 years and treated her like a piece of crap. So that was her fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people.
And she clearly lied. You know, Roland Martin had her on the show, and she clearly lied and said that someone used her name and started a foundation, and that was not her foundation. And then in the city council meeting, she mentioned she started the foundation. So she don't even know how to lie. When you lie, you need to have a script supervisor or somebody with you to make sure that you keeping up with the lies, because she just completely got busted.
Yeah, well,
So Martin,
Yes, go ahead.
Can I say
Go ahead,
this
Sherry.
too? When it
Go
comes
ahead.
to the township, she would not have got it vote. No one would have voted for her to get in that seat. And then when it comes to Dalton, here's the thing. At the end of the day,
Hey, Sherry, let me just Sherry. I want to say this. I'm going to let you. The only reason why I said that is because I'm just using logic. Well, if the reason why I said that she probably would have won the township is because what they did they was afraid afraid her to be on the board on the ticket. So that's why I said what I said. But I'm wrong. I said to be wrong.
That's not it.
Okay.
But let's not say you're wrong, because I can understand why you said that. So we're not going to say you're wrong. I'm saying that everybody's concerns and what they're saying can be valid, especially when we don't know. It wasn't that they was afraid that she would win. It was that the higher ups have been getting complaints for years now. And Martin, you know this because you have been out there with us in the trenches. And
I know.
I think you're being very humble when you say, you know what I'm saying? I think you're real good at that. But no, they're not. They weren't afraid. They've been getting calls and calls. Do something. Get her out. She needs to go. And that's what it is. And what people don't understand in Dalton, Tiffany was recalled. It was a technicality that kept her in that seat. What happened was we gambled, and we had to. It was either do nothing or try something. And so we knew that, we were told that, you need to split those questions up on a referendum, but maybe it was too late, but at least try. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So we tried. We won when it comes to we won when it comes to the vote. And it was a technicality. A judge kept her in that seat. Now, more people are dissatisfied with what she's doing now. So she really is not going to get that seat in Dalton. I was out. I walked. Trust me, I'm in the trenches. We walk door to door every weekend, cold, not cold, hot. And I've done it before, but now people were snatching those petitions, anything, trying to get her off trying to, get Clean House or Jason House to be the mayor all day, every day. This all.
Well, let me ask you this question: Did she file her signatures for mayor?
Oh yeah, she's gonna. Her and Jason House are the two people that are in the primary for the mayor. We thought it would be more people, so now she's gonna get an even worse butt whooping. Unfortunately.
So he objected to her candidacy papers, though. You can object to the candidacy papers.
No, he did not. He did not, because here's the thing with Jason. Jason feels like if you can run, you can run. She has a valid address in Dalton. She can run for mayor of Dalton. She can run, she can win, she can lose, but
the residents, if the residents want to file an objection, they can.
Yeah,
it might be too late now if they couldn't.
But no, but even if they could, why? She's a resident of Dalton. We just don't like what she's doing. We'll vote her out.
Right, but what I'm saying is, as far as the process of when you are running for office and you file your petitions, once you file your petitions, the last day of the petitions, it is 1 week from there that anybody can object to the candidacy papers. So what I was just making a point of the process that there could have been several residents in Dalton that said, you know what, I'm objecting to these candidacy papers for whatever reason. They could throw the objection out. But I'm just saying that.
All right, hold on, Sherry. Let me let podcast get in here, brother. Podcast. Hold on, Mama Diva. Mama Diva, you taking over now. Let the brother get in. 3-0. Come on, podcast. Go ahead, podcast.
I was just responding. Go ahead.
Go ahead, podcast.
So I had a question to the young lady that was just talking. You were saying that she doesn't have a chance against Jason House. But like I said at the beginning of the panel, I don't live in Dalton, so it doesn't matter.
I do.
By the way, so my question is, Tiffany Henyard says that she got elected by 82% of the vote. Your thoughts?
That was wrong. And Martin
had more votes than her.
No, so while she's saying that she won 82%, and Martin and I have had several conversations, so I have talked to him about that. What happened was, in the primary, it was split 3 ways between her, Andrew Holmes, and Riley. Okay? So there's usually never anybody to challenge the Democratic nominated person in the general election. Burge, who is the police chief that she is trying to appoint, he ran against her in the general. Now, he did not campaign at all. Generally, the person who runs in the primary will get over 90%, 95, 99% of the vote. Burge got 500 votes, close to 500 votes, which made her get 82% of that general election. So that's crazy because she should have got 99%. There's no way that a man that didn't even campaign should have got 200 votes, let alone almost 500 votes. So when she's saying 82%, is 82% of the votes against a man who did not even campaign. He did not campaign. He put a few yard signs down. He didn't show up anything, nothing. Nobody heard from him, nothing. He did not, one word. He didn't go door to door, nothing.
Because you said you are a resident of Dalton, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you this, because we've been seeing that it's been said that this story is kind of crazy to me. Maybe you guys can help me understand this, but I guess the police chief right now is not technically the police chief. He doesn't have arrestable powers, and he doesn't have
no.
What's going on with the police chief?
So what happened was
Hold on, wait a minute. Can I interrupt real quick? Sherry, can you explain to them how many people actually voted to recall her, since she keeps saying that 82%?
She, 82% of the general election, which was not the real election. It was the primary that was our real election. But with the recall, I don't remember, but I believe that it wasn't a real high voter turnout, but I think it was close to 60% of the people that voted did vote to recall her.
Okay.
Right.
It's 56%.
Mm-hmm. 56, yep. Something like that. It was so long ago, but yeah. So she was definitely recalled. But now ask me, what were you asking me again? With Burge. Okay. So with Burge, appointments have to be considered by the board before, and they have to do a background check and certain things. Burge was a police chief in the village of Dixmoor. He retired or was fired. I've heard both. And I can be corrected. In, I want to say, May of 2021. So he wasn't active, and he needed, certain certifications that he would have to have. He wasn't supposed to be carrying a gun or any of that. He did no background check. He did nothing. And so she just said, here, you're going to be the police chief. And the board went to court and they got a TRO, which is a temporary restraining order, to keep him from being appointed originally. Okay, so they went, so he wasn't able to take the seat, but for some strange reason, she was still having them show up to work and things of that nature. So they went back to court. They gave her a 30-day appointment, but they also said that she cannot reappoint him after 30 days. So she's going to have to start over. But he didn't have a waiver, and a waiver is something that they need to have to work. Any police officer, you need to have a waiver. You have to have your gun certifications and all that stuff. Now, the problem with that is there was an incident where a company that Tiffany bought signs from, the signs weren't paid for. The company was coming to take their signs down. She showed up with some people, employees. I don't know if they were employees, what they were, because you don't know if they hired or not hired. And she called the police to say, hey, they can't take these signs down. Now, remember, Burge is not supposed to have a gun. Well, he showed up to the call, and what was on his waist? A gun. And when they had the TRO, when he went to court, the judge heard, I was on the Zoom, so I heard it. The judge asked him if he had a gun or he was carrying his gun, and he said no. No. Big lie, a whole lie. So again, you know, listen, the ILESP, which is the Illinois Police Training and Standards Board, they are all over him. They are all over her former chief, Lacey. So they all in Dalton. And they are the ones who have to either give him his certifications or give him his waivers. So when you lie to a judge and then it's for you, then it's all on the all on the news. What makes you think you're gonna be hired? I mean, that's crazy.
I think it's interesting. Let me ask you this. I think it's interesting because before we got to this point, we were seeing how Keith Freeman, right, played a big part in this, and now he like disappeared. Nobody is even mentioning him. You know, his name just is not up for discussion anymore. Do you think that he kind of dodged that bullet, or do you think that maybe investigations and everything like that, he still got some more explaining to do himself?
So I'll say this with Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman is the village administrator. Tiffany brought him on. Originally, it was, you know, it just wasn't working. He wasn't working with the trustees. And there is no secret. I did not approve of Keith Freeman, but who am I? But what I did do was I started a petition to remove him as our village administrator because I felt like he was helping her. And I really kind of thought that he was the ringleader in what she was doing. You know, that's still questionable. We don't know. But what happened was he, for whatever reason, I think I know why, but because, you know, that isn't a proven fact, I won't say that. Correct. But let's just say he has turned it around and he is actually helping to undo some of the things that were done, like getting people their permits and doing the things that it takes to run the village. I would say, you know, the powers that be are making him do that. They cannot fire him because he's under the Whistleblower Act at this point. But, you know, he's doing whatever he needs to do. He has not been charged federally for anything in conjunction with the village or the township yet. So they, you know, firing him for his personal bankruptcy, that's not necessarily what they can do because they don't need another lawsuit. But at the end of the day, he has been doing what the trustees need him to do now to have the village, you know, run the way it should be running so far.
So do you think?
Hold it, sir. Hold it, podcast. Hold it. We got another caller. Hold it. Come on, 9449. Go ahead.
Martin, I'm gonna listen for a minute because I just joined in.
Margaret, you're gonna have me to stop them. Okay. Now listen, Sherry. Let me.
Okay, so do you?
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Now, what do you think is Tiffany's strategy dealing with the Thornton Township? Will you think she's going to campaign now again for that position, far as it being on the right hand ballot, or you think she's going to go to court, take this process that she went through yesterday?
So listen, she can go to court all day, every day. The caucus was legal because if it wasn't legal, it's not like he's Napoleon Harris is crazy. He knew exactly how to do this, and whatever they did, it wasn't illegal. And here's the thing: if she has the money to go to court, take it to court. As long as she doesn't use our money from the township of Dalton, she can do whatever she wants to do. And I got my money on. She don't have money because that Bo Bradley attorney, you don't see him anymore. The money ran out. We got Max Solomon. He's out of Calumet City. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's been working for free, and he's not going to get paid. Let's see. And then that Angela Lockett lady, she don't know what she's doing. So again, those attorneys cannot get her together. What Tiffany needs to understand is she needs to get a different team, a new team, because her team is not giving her sound, solid advice, because they got her looking crazy out here. At this point, as a community, as a predominantly African American community in Dalton, and then in the township is, pretty much, I can't say the numbers on, what the ethnicities of people are and all that stuff, but she's looking a little crazy. Just running around, having parties, doing things, and just saying, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and not going by the rules, no RFPs, no bids, no nothing. Just saying, hey, I want an ice rink. I'm going to make an ice rink. Hey, I'm mad at you, so I'm just going to say or do anything to you. I'm going to fire you. I'm going to hire you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Tiffany has 4 appointments that need to go by the board in the village of Dalton. Worry about that. And then,
I want to ask you something. It's something you just said. It's interesting that you mentioned Matt Solomon, because I know him. He's a Republican, and he's actually running for mayor of Country Club Hills, I believe, as an independent. And I sent him a text message and asked him, I said, are you getting paid? I was concerned because he's a colleague of mine, and I was like, is Tiffany paying you? Because I was shocked to see him, next to her. And
not that Dalton.
Okay, what I'm saying is, but maybe she was paying him personally.
I don't know how, but she could have.
Sherry, I got hold it.
The other question, Sherry.
Mama Diva.
Okay.
Y'all give me. Hold on, podcast. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sherry, now I'm asking, what about these unmarked vehicles they had bought? I don't see all that security around her no more. What happened to all that? Is that tell me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So when she, the board is, people don't understand. They keep saying what the board needs to do. They don't know what the board is doing, and the board is not fueled by social media. They don't get on social media and start telling everybody what they're doing, because they have to strategize. They can't put it on social media and because it gets crazy. But with the vehicles, they took them back. The trustees gave the vehicles back, and they are,
Can you bring some context to this? Are we talking about the police vehicles?
Yes, one was a fire vehicle. The Tahoe, one of the Tahoes is gone. She still has one for now. The Durango is gone. The one was in the fire department. It was like expedition. It was gone. It was the ones that were on that lease that.
So the Durango is the one that Lacey had.
Yes, that's gone. And what was not true was everybody was saying that he still had the Durango. They picked that Durango up in early August when he was first let go. They picked that Durango up even before he was decertified to be a police officer or be a law enforcement in Dalton. So no, that Durango has been gone. Well, they picked it up. He didn't have it anymore, but now it's gone. And the vehicles that was on that specific lease that Trustee Belcher was talking about, those are gone. Maybe one might still be out there, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay, another question real quick. Sir, hold it.
I have a question.
No, sir. Hold it. You gotta respond to me. This is podcast. Slow down now. Sherry, the question is, what about do she still have all that police protection that she had before? No. Okay. So that's
no, she is, the mayor is entitled to a detail, and that detail is a regular daily shift. So he can be there or should be there like whatever his regular shift is, not 24 hours, not 9 people, it's one person.
Oh, okay.
One person, and it's a regular shift. So now they've cut the cost of her, $1.8 million or whatever it was per year. So now it's just down to one shift, one person. So whatever that person makes, that's what it would be.
Wow.
So now I guess
no overtime.
Podcast. Hold on, brother. You got podcast, brother. You got to hold up, brother. Hold up, brother. Please. Let me get my questions out, and I'll let you. Come on now, please. You're a good brother, but please. Now, my next question, Sherry. So, when is the election for Dalton, for the mayor? When is that election? Coming up February or April?
Okay,
which one is that?
Okay, our primary is February 25th, 2025.
Okay. So you have 2 people on there. That's Jason Howard and Tiffany Henyard, right?
For mayor is Jason House and Tiffany Henyard. Yes.
Oh, okay.
For the primary, yes.
Okay.
We anticipate him having a person that's going to do the write-in in the general election, but we ain't worried about that either.
Okay. Now, okay, Mr. Podcast, go ahead, get your question in. Go ahead. Thank you for your patience.
Okay.
I guess my question.
Okay, Sherry.
Hold on, Mama Diva. Podcast. My next question. I'll let you go next. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I guess my one question that I wanted to ask real quick is there had been rumors going around that you guys were going to possibly write in Jedediah Brown for mayor of Dalton. Have you heard anything about that?
You don't even live in Dalton, brother.
No,
that's not
I haven't heard that. I don't think he wants to be the mayor of Dalton. No. I think he supports. I think he supports Jason, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He can't run, and you got to be a resident of Dalton, right? You got to be a resident.
You have to be a resident.
He's not a resident of Dalton. Okay. Okay. Quick question. Another question, Mama D. Hold up. Now, who is running for trustee? Is Andrew Holmes? Is he running back again, or what is he doing? What's the
Andrew Holmes is still Andrew Holmes, Stan Brown, and Tammy Brown all have 2 years left, so they don't have to run again.
Okay.
But the people that are running for trustee are Ed Steve. He's running to get a seat. Kiana Belcher and Brittany Norwood are running to retain their seats. And then you have the clerk, which is Allison Key. And then you have Jason House. That's a full slate. Tiffany is running by herself. There is 2 people. One person is running for trustee and one person is running for mayor. But they're not going to be on the primary. I think they're just going to be in the general election. Okay. And his name, one other person, his name is Danasha something, and I don't know I don't know the lady's name that's running for mayor.
Okay, Mama Diva.
So somebody in the chat might know.
Mama Diva, go ahead. I know she had a question. Mama Diva, go ahead. You ask your question. Make your statement. Mother Diva. She's still here. I don't know what happened to her. Well, anybody else have any questions for Sherry? Sherry seems she knows what's going on. She's been there from the beginning. So
yeah,
she
I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead, podcast.
Okay. All right. So my last question too, and thank you. I appreciate it. My last question would be, so with you, being a resident, someone who lives in Dalton every day, have you seen kind of a shift in the community? Because before it wasn't looking too good. You know, we think back maybe just 6 months ago, it seemed like Tiffany Henyard had all the power in her hands. There was nothing nobody could do about it. But now we're kind of seeing the shift in power. And so do you feel that in the community? Do you see people walk around with a sense of pride as if the victory is over? Kind of touch on that. How's the community feeling now that the shift has began?
So that's a very good question. And again, now that, when the fire department stepped up and they came to the board meeting,
I was there.
And they basically said, you're not going to play with us like that. It just seemed like that was a big boost to the community. A lot of the employees, they would call me because they would look to me for help and things of that nature. It's not like I wanted to be an advocate. I just tried, I was just trying to, help anybody that needed to help. As Martin knows, I always prayed that Tiffany would just snap out of it and say, wait a minute, what am I doing? That didn't happen. But yeah, more people now, even in the police department, I don't know if you guys seen it, but one of the police officers did an anonymous interview on the news and talked about how disgusting this has been for them under her quote unquote control. But now that both boards, you got the township and Dalton, they've all kind of took the control back. So she really doesn't have the control that she once had. And they're just day by day, they know that they're going to get a little pushback or whatever, but they're just trying to do what's right for the businesses. They're trying to do what's right for the community. They're trying to fix some of the things that, have gone astray. The bills haven't been getting paid. And, one of the biggest misconceptions is, when we go to board meetings and we hear the board just don't want to pay the bills. Well, everything, there's a process to everything. They just want the process to be followed. So if you have to do RFPs, do those. And that's basically a bid. You know what I'm saying? If things have to go through the board, they need to go to the board. You just can't go spend all the money and then say, this is what I spent. Now just deal with it and pay for it. So I think that now that they're getting a handle on that stuff, and then now that we're having our meetings in a bigger, safer area, they don't have all these Dalton police, staring down their necks, beating them up and all that. They don't have to, they can be a little more comfortable. And I don't fault her for what the Dalton police officers do, because by law, police officers know, and they should know, that a mayor, a politician cannot give them an unlawful order. So they know when they're violating your rights. They know when they're doing the wrong thing. They know when they're violating the Open Meetings Act. So when they do that, just because she told them to, that's not her fault. That's theirs, because they should know better.
I have a question. Hold it, bro. Hold it, Park. Somebody else wanted to say. Who was that speaking? It was a female. Who was that? Was that
215?
Go ahead, 215. Go ahead.
Sherry, can you clarify how they got her to not be able to go into the banks in Thornton and Dalton? Because I always get a little bit confused when I'm watching the meetings. How did they actually get her off the account?
Okay, so what happened was what they can do is, what happens is when they can prove, and they were able to do that, certain things were happening, like maybe using the clerk stamp when they weren't supposed to, mismanagement of money, things of that nature. They can show maybe how vendors are not getting paid even though they've approved it. They can just take it to court. They always have to go to court. That's how they were able to get but the last bank, it was so much back and forth with that. Even at the township, the banks are saying, we don't want to be bothered, because banks don't want the feds coming in to their banks. auditing them every 15 minutes either. And what people don't understand either is these grand juries have formed. All of these people are being called to the grand jury, and it's a lot of people. Obviously, if they're still interviewing people, that means they must want to interview every single vendor. You know what I'm saying? That stuff this is really real. So,
how do you feel? Because I think
podcast, brother, podcast. Hold it, brother.
Is that the same thing that happened with the Thornton bank account?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't say that because I can always be corrected. I can't say for sure, but yeah, I mean, if the bank is coming to you saying, "Hey, I don't want you on the account," it could be for a million different things. And another thing we better look at is the insurance. What makes anybody think that she can be insured or bonded? They are watching all this stuff. When you're irresponsible with the monies that the government gives you to be responsible with, and the fact that these boards cannot control her, she's going to do whatever she wants to do, that's a liability.
Right.
That's a big liability.
She's trying to move that over to the school board now.
Martin, I want to ask that question.
Okay, it's Mother Diva turn. It's Mother Diva turn, people. Mother Diva. Go ahead, Mama Diva.
Okay, Sherry, something happened where we got cut off or something. But the question I have is, with all of this illegal corruption and all of these activities that was going on with her and other government officials that were governing Dalton, I mean, how was this able to occur and a higher up did not step in to shut this down? For example, the Attorney General, I remember Governor J.B. Preston, we call him Governor Chubby. Okay. I remember he held the press conference where he was talking almost like he wanted to step in and do something. So, I mean, why didn't higher up step in and stop this? And what is the procedure for them?
So, well, I can, this is my thoughts on that. Okay, so when you say higher ups like the Attorney General, that's something that any and everybody, because it's a Cook County thing, it's a state thing or whatever, can write or email him and ask him, because Dalton had over 300 FOIAs that had not been answered, and the Open Meetings Act violations that have been sent to his office. He did absolutely nothing. Kwame Raoul did absolutely nothing. So that's something that people can ask him. Now, what I will say is I went to a neighborhood housing had an event at the South Suburban College, and the AG's office was there. So I actually spoke with him, and I am arranging with him to come and speak to the Village of Dalton residents, and he's going to do that. And maybe, he can be asked that question, although he's not Kwame Raoul, and we don't want him to come in and we're not going to be beating him up and disrespecting him about something that his boss should have handled, but maybe he can make us understand the process or the reason why we did not get any help. And as far as the governor or Chris Welch and all the people who have so-called been protecting her, that's something people would have to ask them. And as far as the board of trustees, they can't make her.
He said he was going to do something.
No, he didn't. He's not. No, he's not going to do anything. He didn't. He said he's doing nothing.
But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. We have to remember that supposedly Kwame Raoul and Tiffany Henyard are supposed to, I don't want to say they're friends, but they have some type of working relationship that would oppose him from kind of turning the eye on her. But there were some people that were in higher position that came forward, like Suzanne Mendoza. She stepped up and she said, wait a minute, I am not going to give another dime to Dalton until paperwork is turned in, until we can see what
the audits are done. Yes, until audits are done.
The audit, right? But there were some people that stepped up and said it. But quite frankly,
not really.
It was too late when they did it. By that time, she had already maxed out the credit card. She had already, put $163,000 on Tahoes. She had already did the damage. And so the people of Dalton are sitting back like, well, wait a minute. We've been coming to town meetings trying to get you guys to do something, but by the time it was too late.
But again,
okay, can I just say something? There's a video of a press conference where J.B. Pritzker said that they were looking into what can be done at the state level about her. So his exact words were,
that's not what he said.
He's looking into the role the state should play.
Hold it.
Because with the FBI involved, it would be a bunch of agencies stepping over each other. So they elected not to get involved, which was a sorry ass excuse because that was going on long before the FBI stepped in. And everybody
they all should be held accountable for not doing anything.
Everybody got a problem with the committee man when he did at the caucus last night, but they was crying for somebody to step in. He stepped in the best way he could.
Here's my question.
Because I think everybody agrees. When you're dealing with a beast.
Does everybody agree that you have to be a resident of Dalton to run in the primary election for mayor?
Yes.
Okay. So allegedly, they've been saying that, well, Tiffany Henyard, the house that she was living in, she hasn't paid rent. The landlord is going back and forth trying to get her kicked out. So some people are saying that she doesn't even live in Dalton. Right.
So you know what, and I have said that too. But here's the thing. Hold
it. Ma'am, hold it. Sherry's the only one talking. Go ahead, Sherry. Go ahead.
So she has an address. She has a legal address where she votes. So technically, they can't do nothing or say you can say whatever you want to say. She could be going to stay at her boyfriend's house every night, but Tiffany lives in Dalton for the purposes of an election. So nobody can say that she doesn't, even if we feel like and we know that she doesn't reside there.
No,
but again, but if that's her legal address and she doesn't have a lease at this point anywhere else, she can run. She can run. So and who's going to sit on her all night and try to figure out where she is? The bottom line is she's running for mayor of Dalton with Jason. She's not going to win, y'all. But again, and then back to what we were talking about, the question that I was asked, I didn't get to answer, about why people don't do anything about her or this and that and the third. The board of trustees get beat up in Dalton, and now they're getting beat up in the township, but they get beat up saying, why don't you guys do this? Why don't you guys do it? They have done that. But outside of dragging her by her hair and making her do something, they can only go to court. That's all they can do, and they do that. I mean, she does something, crazy all the time, by our standards and what we think. So you can only go to court so much. You can only pick your battles, but it's something every single day. We had a bunch of employees in Dalton that were laid off, and they decided they were going to stay at work. We still got one man. He's totally unhinged. You can see that he's unhinged. He's at the board meetings. He's in Village Hall. Village Hall is locked up. People can't even get in there. They got like a 6x6 space with 3 chairs. So if you go to take care of business, everybody hears what your information is total HIPAA violation. This man is laid off. He still has access to all the residents' information because he's back behind the counters as if he is an employee. And then when people come to do business, like if I come to do business, he will get on the phone, he will call her. And that didn't happen to me. I'm just using that as an example. The residents are getting harassed. Everybody's paperwork is lost. If they don't, you know what I'm saying? It's too much. So the thing of it is the powers that be have to step in and get her in line. But that takes time. Once you start a feds investigation, the feds are not worried about if one of us gets physically hurt. It's all about the money for them. They're tracing the money. It's a money thing with them. So we have to understand that as well. So it's going to take time. She may or may not be indicted. before the election, but she still can run, and people have to understand that too. If they go pick her up tomorrow, she still can run for office.
Tell them, Sherry.
What I want to know
okay.
is, are you guys
podcast? I gotta ask Sherry a question, and it's not personal. Now, last night we was on for almost 5 hours, and someone made a comment about a $500,000 check or something. You heard something about that the Curse train tried to catch and it was shut down. Do you know anything about that?
So it wasn't. No, that check was not cashed by the currency exchange.
Okay.
The 500 and something, it was over $500,000, and I'll send it to you because I have it.
Okay.
That was a check that she wrote and signed by herself, because we all know that it's 2 signatures on a check at the village, and at the time it was the mayor and the clerk. At one point it was changed to senior trustee House and the clerk, but what she did was she signed that check herself. Now the currency exchange thing was $100,000 check that was supposedly cashed. That was supposedly. Remember, I'm saying supposedly because we don't know, and until we see it at the grand jury come out and we see those details, that's what I'm saying. Supposedly, that it was $100,000 check that was supposedly for a payment for a village property, but they put it in her name. It wasn't in the village's name. So that's what that currency exchange thing was. And he was closed down for a couple of weeks for that.
Okay.
Who goes to the currency exchange and cash $100,000 check?
A person who was doing some shady business. Period.
Go ahead, podcast.
I think it's also to identify and bring out the fact that I need some help remembering his name. I think it's Jamal or something like that. Her so-called boyfriend. He's been out of the picture as well for a while. I don't know if it's some speculation they're not together anymore or anything like that, but he wasn't at the meeting with her last night. She had $1.
Yes, he was.
Oh,
He was carrying her baby.
Oh, I didn't see.
She was working all the way out. She's going, let's go.
I just know I seen one guy. I don't know if he was an off-duty officer or whatever, but the entourage.
Well, when she got up there, and it was sad. It was a little sad to watch her. After all these people that she beat up and all that, and then she was saying, "Please, Thaddeus, come on, Napoleon," and all that. I mean, what about the 4 years that everybody else was saying, "Please let us in, please open the door, please don't cut my water off in the middle of the winter," and all that type of stuff? You can't just treat people like mess and think that they're going to continue to take that and then consider that you should be in charge. I mean, it has been hell for a lot of people. Not so much for me. You know what I'm saying? Not so much for me. And let me be 500% transparent. I supported her. I wanted her to do well. I helped campaign to get her in. I talked to people who did not want her to be the mayor. And I said, let's give her a chance. We don't have anything. We don't have anyone else to do this. We can, if we work with her, if we get her people, good people that want to work with her, that are willing to give knowledge and to help her, get it right. We used to do what was called Tea with the Trustees online because it was COVID. I mean, they had great plans. The things that they talked about doing, it was really awesome. So when she got in and that totally flipped, it was like, oh my goodness. And I do get and I understand why people who don't know what's going on would say, hey, let's give this girl a chance. And why are you all doing this to her? Do you think that we people just woke up one morning and said, we want to beat up this black young lady?
Right.
No, that's crazy.
So, but you mean to tell me that you all didn't have any other option? I mean, she didn't have any.
No.
Listen, she didn't have any other political background besides being a trustee, which is an elected
She had two
official.
terms. She had two terms of being
But she did 8 years
I
though.
understand that. I understand that.
That's
But when you think about the level of the responsibility of the mayoral office, okay, it doesn't equivalent to 2 terms as a trustee because you're not making the same decisions and you're not the face of the public like you are when you're in that mayor seat. So
well, you can say that about Riley.
Around
Riley did. Look, that's why you have a team.
Belcher, Edward Steve, they built a nice solid team around her to support her to be successful. And she refused to work with them every step.
And not only them, it was people in the community. We worked with her. She decided to cut everybody off and say, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Let me ask you ladies this. Do you think, because a lot of people say that, she was making over $300,000 a year. She was making $250 with as a supervisor, and she's making, what, 100 something as the mayor of Dalton. Do you
50.
No, she doesn't make that as a 50 as a mayor and an additional 10 as the liquor commissioner. So it totals up to be about 61,000.
61,000. And then was it right with 250 as supervisor?
225, but she still gets like perks and per diems and stuff like that.
And she voted to give herself raises like twice. It seems like.
But she didn't get them.
Maybe the money. You all think the money got to her because when you're making that much money, the money and the power, right? The ego.
Well, we can't even say that.
Power before, right?
We can't say that because she started off.
Hold it, brother. Go ahead, Sherry. Go ahead.
She was the mayor doing all that stuff. She was clowning as the mayor before she was even appointed as supervisor. Because when they appointed her as supervisor a little over a year after she was the mayor, or around a year, and they were talking about it in Dalton politics, and that's the group that to me now is too out of control. I don't really too much. I still post, but I don't really get into it like that because there's too many trolls and crazy people in there. They in that group, they were talking about that. And I said, you know what? Look at what she's doing in Dalton, and her being appointed as a supervisor is a big mistake because she's going to do the same thing to the township. So again, everybody wanted to give her a chance, and so did we. You can straighten somebody's crown because there are people that have never been in politics and they do a good job. Riley Rogers was the mayor. He was a trustee, I think, for one term, and then he became the mayor. Some people have never run for office, and then they became a trustee. Steve wasn't in politics at all. He became a trustee. People ask me to run all the time. I'm never doing it. So here's the thing: you can't go by how long they've been in the seat. A lot of people, when they start politics, a lot of people don't hold an office of a lower office for 10, 12 years before they if they're the alderman and then they become the mayor. It just depends on what you want to do and what you know about politics. But again, Tiffany, we tried other options. I know me personally wanted Jason House to run back when she ran, but for his own personal reasons, he was not ready to run, and he did.
Yeah, you wasn't the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So what do you guys see?
Mr. Podcast, you just gonna take over, ain't you?
I'm sorry,
man. Come on, just invite on your podcast. You can take all the questions you want to. Yeah, thank you. So Sherry, let me ask you a question too. With the I may not be getting it right. I heard her Tiffany. I think it was like one of these little clips. I think on her page or something, she was saying that she was wanting to give back a tax rebate to all the residents and all that. Can you explain that to me? What's up with that? I don't know,
Yeah. So first of all, that's been in existence way before she was a supervisor, and she keeps saying that she brought that up. But what she's not saying is she said that she was giving $2.5 million to everybody. That's not how it works. It's the households, homeowners can get a rebate. And what she's not telling you is that rebate will not be more than $30 per household. So I don't know
why she's saying that you're gonna get all this money. And you know what? I do know why she's saying it, because she might believe it. She might be saying, "Oh, $2.5 million, that's a lot of money," and she's not doing the math because that math ain't math. But again, that was a program, and just like even when she'll say, "I bury your family," that's not necessarily true. There are strict guidelines for you to get money to bury your family member, and it's only $3,000 per person. But everybody does not qualify for that. So when you're talking to a bunch of people and you're electioneering, you're trying to get them to think that they can get all this from you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know if she knows that. I don't even know if she knows that they only get $3,000 and there are guidelines. That I don't know. You have to call the township, but there are strict guidelines for that. Even with the rental, when they offer to pay your rent, same thing. There are guidelines to everything, and everybody doesn't qualify.
Okay, I got another question. It was told to me, and that she's calling a special meeting tomorrow. Did you hear anything about that? 2 o'clock.
The township.
Yeah, 2 o'clock.
So
right.
I don't know how that's gonna work, because when you call meetings and then you don't put the things that the trustees want on that on the agenda, I don't know, and people are saying, well, they have to show up, they don't have to show up, they have to show up, they don't have to. The thing of it is one of the trustees is having a safety issue, and she won't allow her to call in, which is crazy, because when she was out of town on her press run, when she did the Roland Martin show and all that stuff, she called in. And I want to say it was then or either the time when she wanted that $10,000 for her charity that wasn't listed with the state. She called in then to vote on it. So I don't understand why the trustee can't just call in. There's supposed to be a special board meeting because they need to get that insurance paid. So the township will have insurance. But it has to make sense. I mean, because people can say all day and all night what a trustee should do. She should be at the meeting. She should do this. But your life ain't in danger. You don't feel like your life is in danger. People are being threatened. People go to those meetings and you have her people sitting around looking at you, staring at you, and then you got security there that is your security. So that's not fair to those people. I watched Trustee Gonzalez get cursed out at a board meeting. So by an employee in front of his kids. In front of his kids, wow. Right? And his kids, even though they were young, they got up and they stood behind their father. They were scared for his dad. They stood, which was a good thing. But again, why should you have to go through all that? And people want to say what elected officials need to do. These are part-time positions, and with her, it has become a full-time position for them, just trying to keep her in line. And that's not their job. Their job is to protect the money.
Okay, I got one more question. I got a new caller, and y'all probably gonna beat me up for saying this, but I kind of felt bad for Tiffany yesterday. I really did when I seen that. I ain't gonna lie, people. I was like, man, she was up there like speechless. I was like, but then in back of my mind, sometimes what you put out in the universe, it comes back. I'll just say that. I just kind of felt bad, but not only bad
because there's something wrong, y'all.
Right.
There's something wrong, and that's what I've learned over the last few months, because. And Martin knows me. He knows I'm a beast. I'm not going to be fighting with people, and I ain't going to be getting into that, and I don't get into no crazy stuff. But he knows me, and he knows that I'm on it. But I have learned that something is wrong, and we have to understand, if you looking at these videos, you looking at these rants and all that stuff, guys, we got to know that we, as African-American people, we need to start working on our mental health, and we need to just not be embarrassed about it, and we need to get the help that we need. If we don't want to do that, we need to find some kind of fellowship, something, do something, because you know what, this train wreck right here, it is sad. And to watch this, and to watch people support that is crazy. That is so
I
crazy
seen
to
that,
me
Sherry.
because why would you support a train wreck?
Yeah, I seen. Hey,
Right.
Sherry, and let me say this too. This is spirit. I said everyone probably gonna go home and kill herself now after all that. You know. Then when everybody said nah, nah,
She's
nah,
too much of a
nah,
narcissist.
hey,
Nope. When
goodbye.
they said that, I was done.
I was
done.
like,
But I felt justified for Edward Steve because they embarrassed him like that.
oh, I
But
heard.
you know what? That Tiffany didn't care about that. All she cared about was the fact that she is not on that ballot. She would have been singing it with us if she had time to think about it. She's becoming a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
They say that was payback from the Nino Brown.
Well, you know what that was? That was payback because she did that to Ed Steve. She did that to Edward Steve. She was like, Edward Steve, I'm gonna play this song for you because you're done. And then she sung it herself. It's the clip out there already. They start playing it again today because of last night. So, and then one of her supporters told Ed Steve last night, that's why you have MS.
Horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at all the old meetings, she was trying to dog Edward Steve out from the beginning. It was like she had a gripe with him before Belcher even started calling her out. She just kept sticking with him. All the way from when he was a trustee. He took him through the mud over his little events at Melanie Fitness.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me
that wasn't even him.
We made the money. And she kept saying, y'all going to pay for it? Are y'all going to pay for it? And he said, we made the money. We is going to pay for it. That's when I knew something in her mind just don't go to the top.
Right.
Sherry, I want to ask a question. Okay.
Mama Diva.
When she was elected,
Mama Diva.
Mother Diva, yeah.
Hold it. I got your boy Sarge. He been waiting for like about 5 minutes. I don't want to,
Hey, Sarge, go okay. I'm gonna be quiet. Let Sarge talk.
Go ahead, Sarge. Sarge.
Oh, hey.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been listening to the show since the beginning, and I was just listening in and everything. Yeah. The one thing I have to put into it is people get what they vote for. Now, if people do not become more doggone educated on candidates that, they plan to vote for and stop with the identity politics and that made me feel good. And all of this, they get
I know where you're going with this.
Come on,
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
Okay, Martin. Well, you tell me where I'm going with it.
You going about that Democrat plantation and all that. I know where you come with that.
No, I'm not.
I know where you're going.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going with people that say they got your best interest at heart. They gaslight you, and then when they get in office, they do nothing for you.
Hold on, Sarge. Let me tell this person. Listen, new caller. Hold on, y'all. 352. I need you to turn your audio down, or I'm gonna have to knock you off. 352. Turn your audio down. I'm gonna have to knock you off. 352. Turn your audio down. I'm gonna have to knock you off. Okay, go ahead, Sarge. All right, go ahead. That was a new caller. Go ahead.
Now, okay, it's just like this here. You look at that Chicago election, right? When I saw the candidates from the last one for mayor, I'm like, Paul Vallis would have been a better choice. But what happened? Identity politics, throw racism in there. Oh, he gonna have all the black folk locked up, and and we need another black mayor. And really,
what has Paul Vallis ever done to black folk?
Answer that, Sarge.
Sorry, what has Paul Vallis done for black folks?
Yeah,
correct.
He closed the schools down. Paul Vallis would have had the city.
Shame the devil.
Okay,
he closed the schools down.
That's what he did for black folks. Okay.
So you can't say that in the case of Tiffany. You can't say that in the case of Tiffany and Dalton because there is no black white people.
Never mind, Martin. I was trying to make a point.
Wait a minute.
Martin, you know what, Martin?
Let Sarge answer the question.
No, Martin, I screwed up. I tried to make a point. Now I'm getting jumped on, and I can't even make a point. Never mind.
Well, at least they didn't call you the B word.
All my time to the rest of everybody that want to run their damn mouth.
They didn't call you the B word, though. They didn't call you the B word. But we'll let you talk. I'm the host. I mean, if you want to continue.
I just want the brother to
ask him a question, so give him a chance to answer it.
Paul Vallis, or whatever his name is, for black folk. You said he would have been a better option than Brandon Johnson had at least been. Brandon Johnson was president of the CTU. What has Paul Vallis done?
Sarge, he asked me.
I wasn't talking about doing something, but may I answer?
Go ahead.
I wasn't talking about what Paul Vallis done specifically for black people. Is Chicago an all-black city?
It's not, but it's segregated.
No, it's not.
And so I want to know.
It don't. No, stop gaslighting. Stop. No. See that? Martin, now you see why. Martin, now you see why I say every time I go back to Chicago to visit or whatever I do back there, I feel like I have just entered the Jim Crow South.
Maybe that's
now
a good
you
thing.
See why? Because everything revolves around racism, race, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
racism. Chicago is segregated. That's a known fact. Chicago is segregated. So what I want to know is
Chicago has always been segregated,
right? And so when you are a politician running for mayor, whatever like that, you have to have some type of connection to the African American community, right?
Okay.
In order to be elected. And so that's why I'm asking.
Well, roll back. What mayor did the most for the African?
Okay, y'all.
What mayor did the most for the African American community?
Okay, y'all, hold it.
Back it up.
Hold it.
I'm still waiting to hear what Sarge, can you give us a list of why Paul Vallis would have been a better mayor?
Hold on, people. Hold on for a minute. Let's just wait. Marcus been waiting. He didn't really say anything. Go ahead, Marcus. Then I'm gonna go to 352. Go ahead, Marcus.
This is three.
No, you hold 352. You next. But Marcus has been here already. He just didn't say that. He just tuned in and didn't make no comment.
No problem.
Then you next. 352. You next. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead, Marcus.
Let me say this. And no disrespect to Sarge, I didn't vote for Paul Vallis, and I know this is not about Paul Vallis, it's about Tiffany Henyard. And I'm gonna get on Tiffany Henyard. I didn't vote for Paul Vallis because it would have been voting for Daley again. Paul Vallis worked under Daley. Paul Vallis screwed up these schools in black neighborhoods. He screwed these schools up. And a lot of black people did not vote for Paul Vallis in this city because they didn't want another Daley in office. These white men, they were taking black people's cars. They weren't doing nothing about that. They don't do nothing about the police beating you up here. So black people voted for somebody black who they thought had their interest. But Brandon Johnson, as we can see, is controlled by the Jews who control CTU. And he really doesn't have our interest. But we got to give him a chance. He only been in there for 4 years. I mean, he ain't been in there for 4 years.
Hell with a chance. We seen what we
no, he messing up right now. He on the same track.
We gave Daley 20-something years.
He told the truth now.
We gave Daley 20-something years. We gave Daley 20-something years.
He telling the truth, y'all.
That don't mean do it again. That don't mean do it again. That don't mean do it again.
But
get his ass out. He just gave his wife an $80,000 office, and he come out give him a chance.
Your grandchildren and murder your grandchildren. His policies. We're still in his policies till this day in the city of Chicago. Rahm Emanuel got blamed for closing these schools. Mayor Daley's plan was to close all them black schools in the black neighborhood. Mayor Daley is the cause of this city, which is red light camera and these speed cameras. Mayor Daley's agenda. I know it because I worked on the campaign, knocking on doors.
Okay.
But I didn't support Mayor
Let's get back on Tiffany. Hold it. No. I'm paying. Hold it. 352. No. I don't care what. Listen, I don't care what Sarge said right now. You know what I'm saying? Sarge is kind of getting upset right now. Let's go to 352. I'll come back to him. He calmed
No,
down.
I'm not getting upset.
Yeah.
I was just making my
352.
point.
352.
What I don't understand is why Sarge is always getting upset about anything. But that beats the point. What is interesting
I'm not
to me?
getting upset.
Come on, let's get back on Tiffany. Let's get back on Tiffany. Go ahead, my brother. 352. Go ahead.
Here, there's a distinct difference between black people and black gatekeepers. And whether it's Tiffany, insert name here, insert Tiffany, insert Brandon Johnson, they are gatekeepers. Let's be crystal clear. They are very different things than a black person. So what I'm not going to do, the people that are always feigning and talking about somebody's gaslighting, when somebody's usually saying that you're gaslighting, it's usually them that's gaslighting. So Tiffany Henyard does nothing but gaslight. There's nothing substantive that comes from her. We got all these grants. We got all these federal monies. Where are they? See, substance, that's why I keep saying that facts don't care about feelings. And so, and going back to that, it doesn't matter what, your town is 12 square miles, and this woman who you all elected, she's the first, and she got 82% of this, and her subjects and verbs do not agree. She needs to be spending all that money to get that whack-ass weave off of her head, and then learn how to do word elocution and actually govern. And you've had nothing governing from Lil Wayne with the whack-ass wig on her head. You had no governing there. So my question goes back to all of you, Martin, especially you, brother, is how do we get some really good quality governance and transparency there? Now, if that answer is Jason House, so be it. But my question to Jason House was this: when I saw him in person, I was no fan of Lori Lightfoot either. So to me, when you have a request for proposal and you're going to do all this forensic audits, and I know something about that too, is that's fine. If she's really that good, she wasn't necessarily great for Chicago. So my thing is, we need to start governing and moving differently. And we need to move past the Henyards. We need to turn the page. That's what this is about. We don't need substance, because all she cares about is power, Martin. Mm-hmm. And that's all it's about. And she's probably making more money than she's ever made. And if she needs to put something on her head, and I hate putting down a black woman.
Don't do it, then.
She's a black gatekeeper. She's a black gatekeeper, right? That's what she is. Period.
He's always telling the truth. Wayne, that is true.
Yeah, but hold on, people.
And he's always telling the truth.
Listen, but hold on. Listen, let me just say this. People. Hold it, y'all. Hold it. Please hold it. Listen, what does Tiffany Henyard got to do with her policies and all that? People, get off her physical appearance and all that. Let's get back to the facts like we've been doing. Come on, bro. That's perfect. If you don't listen, we all are ugly to somebody.
Yeah, listen to her voice. She's a hood rat.
Well, see, bro, that's personal.
Listen to her voice. She's a hood rat.
Listen, brother.
I apologize, Martin, for making personal attack.
Yeah, get on the facts like you've been doing.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah,
can I ask?
The fact is, she's a hood rat.
Who want to ask something? Who's that?
This is Sherry.
Go ahead,
Can
Sherry.
I say something?
Yes, go ahead, Sherry.
Let's go back to Lori Lightfoot. As a resident of Dalton, when they decided that they were going to have her do an investigation, there were residents that were split on it. Until we have a community meeting once a month, and we talk about things. We did not hire Lori Lightfoot to be the mayor. So what she did as the mayor, it had nothing to do with what she was doing in Dalton. She was a prosecutor, a federal prosecutor, and she was a damn good federal prosecutor.
Bottom line,
she has gotten a lot of information for us. All of it has not been exposed because, again, Dalton is in trouble. We're not on social media running to everybody. Lord, this is that. She did one report, and everything on that report wasn't necessarily disclosed because a lot of things are going to lead up to this indictment. A. B, so when people say she's not doing anything and people were complaining because she got paid $30,000, Tiffany's attorneys were getting $700 an hour. Lori was not getting $700 an hour. It was a cap on everything. She has not asked for any extra money. She still has a report that she's going to do. Strategically, it needs to come out when it needs to come out, and it will. But when they start talking about what kind of mayor she was, we didn't hire her to be the mayor. We hired her to do an investigation, and she is doing it.
Okay. Go ahead, 352.
And people did not, and people don't understand. Sometimes it takes one to know one. So if she is a good prosecutor and she's been in the mayoral seat before, she knows where to look for what she's looking for to help the trustees. So people really was blinded by the potential that she had from the beginning. Then when she came back with the results, everybody was looking stupid. Not me. I knew what was going on. So.
Go ahead, 352. But listen, Sherry, a lot of things we know, we just needed the proof. You know, I'm a man of facts and proof and things like that. I'll sit back and I'll listen, stuff like that. But when you present that proof, and then I can say it speaks for itself. So that's what I want us to do.
But Martin, you know, I can also give you the proof too. You know, I have sent you things and can send you things.
Right.
So I'm not just talking out the side of my neck.
I already know.
And again, when I can be corrected, I will be corrected. And I'm also, you know, Tiffany has some issues, and we all have to take that into consideration as well. As far as her being a gatekeeper, I don't know if she even knows what that is. I don't think she knows anything about that type of stuff. And then, you know, we didn't do identity politics in Dalton because, you know, there's never really any Republicans that run. There's never any people of other colors that run for seats in the village of Dalton. When it came time to run, excuse me, we only had so many people that were running. Our choices were just very bad. And then again, when people say you get what you vote for, you know, I don't know if I ever said it that way, but what I will say is you don't know a person's agenda until you know it. And that could be anybody. That anybody could sell you a dream and then turn on it or turn on you. And people will say, well, you know, she was no, Tiffany, she had Martin, you were at her first Stop the Violence march. The girl was not acting like a criminal, maybe a little rough around the edges, but she wasn't acting like a criminal. So nobody, you know, we don't know what happened between then and now, but something obviously happened. But also, if a person gets in and they're telling you what they're going to do, I mean, and that could be anybody could get in, but just like we serving her up some whoop ass, if Jason gets in, and Jason is the bomb. I know he's transparent. Anytime you ask him anything, you know, he'll tell you, he'll be honest with you, he's available, anything. He will talk to you. But he knows, and the community has told him, because we have community meetings, if you get in there and do what she's doing, we're going to hold you to the fire. And we mean that. So. And it ain't personal, but it is
Can I
personal.
say something to Mother Diva?
Okay, when Sherry's done talking, you can say something. When Sherry's done talking.
I just want to say
that. Go ahead, Mother Diva. Then we go back to 352.
So,
go ahead.
Again, I don't know if the gentleman is still on the phone. I hope Sarge is still on the phone. But the bottom line is, I said this in my earlier conversation, and the gentleman had disagreed with me, which is fine, because, you know, that's what makes an interesting conversation. Not everybody agrees with everybody. But the point I was trying to make is that there needs to be some type of civil war in this country. We
going back to the Civil War. That's why she wants to back.
Wait, let me finish.
Podcast. Hold it.
Okay, let me finish.
Let her finish.
Saying, and then you can respond to that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, I am tired of people acting like punks. And why is it that a bunch of residents can walk into the state capitol in Michigan with guns, all upset with the governor, and nothing happened to them? Remember what the Black Panthers did back in the 70s? I'm tired of people being punks. People need to start bankrupting these cities, stop shopping at these places. That Dalton could have taken care of her with no problem. Why is it that if you go on the west side of Chicago, I had a young lady who was driving a senior bus, and she was trying to drive through the street, and two guys stopped her and said, ma'am, turn this bus around. You cannot drive through here right now. It was because the gangbangers was in the middle of a transaction, and she turned that bus right around, and the police was right around the corner. Now, if she had drove that bus through there, they would have shot her bus up. Why don't the people in these towns have the same principle and the same gumption and the same aggression when it comes to being in power and handling their business and doing what they supposed to do to put these people out? Don't shop at the stores. Don't pay your bills. Don't pay your taxes. Don't do nothing. That's how you get rid of people. You get rid of them with going in their pocket. And there's too many people that act like punks. And I'm going to go ahead and say it if Sarge can't say it. The Democrats are the biggest punks in the world. Now, I said what I said.
Wait a minute now.
Well, I'm not paying. I'm paying my taxes, and I'm not. I ain't no punk, and I'm paying. And I'm a Democrat. But Dalton ain't 3 million people, and we not gonna sit up and burn our city down just because she's burning it down. And people are punks. And again, people have done their work. And to say that we have done the work. We have been doing the work. We've been doing the work. Martin was there. He knows there are residents that are doing the work. The powers that be just are not stepping in. You're supposed to, we not lawless here. And everybody ain't going. You try to go back to the 70s and the 50s and all that, and do that. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. So here in Illinois, it's not going to happen.
You can't
so again, we can, and again, the businesses. We need the businesses to be here. We trying to build the community, and she just needs to go. She's gonna be gone. She's gonna do 4 years, and she's gonna be gone. Period. That's it. That's all. But again,
let me ask you this: how come she couldn't be recalled?
They did that. She explained it. Sherry, explain it to us. Please explain it to us, Sherry. Go ahead.
She was recalled. The people recalled her. A judge overturned the people's vote. I mean, I don't know what more we could do as far as that goes. But again, the people of Dalton, and see, and that's another thing. When we get too caught up in, I'm a registered Democrat, but I get offended when people keep talking just because somebody is a Democrat or a Republican. Don't make them crazy, stupid, or dumb, or a punk, or none of that. It's a political party, and it's the way they vote. They vote the best interest of what they feel, and we can agree or to disagree.
Let me be clear. I wasn't referring to necessarily the voters. I'm talking about the Democrats that are in office. Most of them, not all of them, because Debbie Myers Martin does her job. Tammy Duckworth does her job. I know them personally. But what I've also seen is most of them act like that.
Or you're a Republican.
But no, they're not true, sir, because I'm in the Green Party. I'm not. There's more than one party. She just talked about how the Libertarians went and sued folks. And as a matter of fact, the Libertarians and the Green Party went and sued the state board of elections just to get signatures online. We had never had an election where you could get signatures online. But because we were in a pandemic, how was we supposed to go out and get signatures if we was under a stay-at-home order? And what the Green Party and the Libertarian Party did actually benefited the Republicans and the Democrats because they had to get signatures online too.
Well, let me just say,
wait a minute. Wait a minute. To be fair, in the beginning of the conversation, you just vouched for Mark Sullivan, and he's crooked. He got in trouble for stealing his client money, not doing the legal work, and you was taking up to him, wondering why he associated with Tiffany, and he just is crooked.
Okay.
You must be talking about somebody else because I don't know who Mark Sullivan is.
The black lawyer that you was just vouching for in the beginning when they asked where he was at, you said he's running for mayor.
Okay. Let me just say this.
My question was, I said that I knew him and I texted him and asked him, was he getting paid?
Hey, Marlon, what you calling?
Okay.
You know him personally, and you don't understand how he hooked up with Tiffany. And how he hooked up because he's crooked. He stole $12,000 from his client, never went to court, and caused her to lose her $300,000 property, and she still had to pay money after that. So he hooked up with Tiffany because they birds of a feather, and you vouch for him. So people vouch for people all the time, and sometimes they just get it wrong.
Let me just say this, people.
And that's
Hold it.
hold it.
Hold it.
I had
Ladies.
heard he was crooked, but I didn't really know. I just know him.
Ladies.
You said you heard he was
ladies.
and you
Ladies.
still vouch for him?
Ladies and gents, let me just say something.
For anybody,
Hold it.
but if you go back and listen to the conversation, let's get the facts correct.
Oh.
I did not vouch for Max Solomon. I said I know Max. He's a colleague of mine.
Okay, listen. Okay, Mama Diva. Podcast. I need y'all to hold up for a minute. Let me just say something. I want to explain some how things go over here. Okay, my platform is open for Democrats, Republicans, Independents, whatever. We all get along over here. We think different. We do things different. So listen, at the end of the day, my motto is I don't think all black people should be Democrats. I don't think all black people should be Republicans. Spread it around. Should no one party guess the way we're going to vote? That's just me. That's the way I do. I am a registered Democrat, but I do vote across the lines. So I just want to say that. Now I'm just letting y'all know this platform is open for all of us. I mean, if Tiffany come here and want to talk, I'll let her talk. Whether you agree with her or not, whether she on the line or not, I will let her talk. But go ahead, 352. Come on. Go ahead, 352.
My name a couple of times, and I've been listening.
Go ahead, 352. Go ahead. Go talk, 352.
I'm about to get on a plane, and I just wanted to talk to y'all real quick.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, but for anybody that thinks that regardless of party, first of all, the sister brought up the Black Panthers. The Mulford Acts, it's interesting for people that think that Republicans don't believe in gun laws or restricting guns. They absolutely do, because we know a famous president named Ronald Reagan did it against the Black Panthers when we want to own guns. Now, I am for the Second Amendment just like everybody else. I want more black people to have more guns. So, but I find it interesting. It's only when who has the guns, and we don't have to go very far. Please spare me the NRA or the Rifleman Guns Association of America. When Philippe Castillo, who legally owned a weapon in Minnesota, was shot dead by a police officer because he said, "I have a concealed weapon," and the officer was really scared, and I put quote unquote really scared that the brother had a gun. Come now. So please spare me this idea that certain parties are privileging or are privileged to black people. They are not. I've been a Republican and I've been a Democrat, and both of them are just the same side of the token with different people playing the same game. And for those of you out there, history happens to repeat itself. It's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new. And so for those of you who are out there, because I heard one brother bring up the Jews, let me ask you good people who read that good book that you go to every Sunday and worship in white Jesus, do you see yourself in that Bible? And then here's my question, if you do. Please tell me, are you the Jew or Gentile? Because let me help you out. The first Jews were black people. Let me help you out there. It's not what you see in Israel. They call the Ethiopians. Matter of fact, they're the first tribe, Sacs. So if you are not worshiping in that good old book you read, that they tell you is all so great for you, and I'm not here to knock on your faith and what your beliefs are. What your spirituality is and who you worship, that's your great business. I'm here to build community with certain black folks. Yeah. If you are here for black people, I'm here for black love and revolution. That's what I'm here for. So I'm not here about the Jim Crow and all the foolishness.
Jesus Christ?
Mark,
You generalize Jesus because I'm not no Christian and his name is Yahshua. So I don't even go to church on Sunday. I go to Bible.
There you go. Thank you.
Can I
as far as spare me the...
And Mark, what I wanted to tell you...
Hold it, Mama Diva. We can't talk over each other. Let's try to be some order.
I have the floor, Mama Diva, if you don't mind. I'm almost done. I'm about to get on a plane.
I'll let you come on, Marcus.
Be respectful.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
352. Go ahead. 3 Dan Marcus. Go ahead.
I'm almost done. I mean, I heard Sarge say something. Listen, I'm not here to get slick with anybody, but do I believe in Jesus Christ? I call him Yeshua. You can call him white Jesus if you want to. I call him Yeshua. Go get educated and come to me again, bro. Don't come to me with that.
Well, I call him Jesus Christ, and if you don't call him Jesus
Christ, I call him Yeshua. That was his name. That's what God Elohim gave him.
Okay.
That's right. Wait a minute. You, I don't know.
Now hold it, child.
Run the tape back. I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word. You talking about he heard me say something? I didn't say a word.
Okay.
It sounded like you. That was the other brother. I apologize, Sarge. I apologize.
Okay, can we?
And the independents to be on the ballot.
Can we get back to?
We gotta change. Did you all know that? It is against the law for independents and Green Party to be on the ballot for the primary election.
Okay. Marcus, go ahead, Marcus. One mic. Marcus.
I was out of pocket when I called you out and disrespected you, and I apologize for that.
Okay. Marcus.
I was wrong.
Come on, Marcus.
I want to say this. Most of us was taught to call on the Lord. And when you're in trouble, I don't know about some of you all. I'm not going to change the topic on here, but I don't know about some of you all. Do you believe in the spiritual part of what you say you believe in? Because when you call on the Lord, things happen. All these other names, yes, it's a lot of black people who know that the real Jews were black. A lot of black people do know that. But when I refer to the Jews, I meant the white Jews who the Bible
exactly. I knew exactly what you were
Jews.
talking about when you said Jews.
But and what's controlling this city of Chicago and why people didn't vote for Paul Vallis, because it was the white Jews who supported Mayor Daley, kept him in office so that he could put his foot on black people's necks. And that's why our communities look the way they look. He shut down a lot of programs that would have benefited our youth. Our youth have nowhere to go. Martin, I used to work for the Park District. I'm not with the Park District today because I was terminated because I refused to obey Mayor Daley's order and making kids pay to come in the gym. I opened the gym up for them and let them come in there for free. And I lost my job because I wasn't going along with the Mayor Daley.
Well, insubordination, you should have lost your job for insubordination, sir.
No. I'm not finna, when it comes to black kids and the
No.
and they out there shooting each other. No, it's wrong to say that because
you got an order, from your
kids,
supervisor.
listen to me. Those white kids was not paying to come in their gym. Funded by the Park District. Black homeowners who paid taxes was paying for those kids to come in the gym. But Mayor Daley wanted to charge these poor black kids to come in the gym. Otherwise, they couldn't go in the gym. They go to the street. And now you have this problem. You all are wondering why the youth are doing what they're doing. They ain't got nowhere to go.
Okay.
They don't have anywhere to go. The fathers ain't there to raise those boys up to be men, to be responsible.
Walking out,
okay, let's get back. Hold it.
Do not set me off.
Hold it. We finna get back on Tiffany. That's what we talking about, people.
Well, I think that, and I also think
that's what I want to get on
It was like, Sarge, why Sarge feel Paul Vallis was a better man. Did you give us a list?
No, I don't want to talk about that. I'm done with that. Let's get back on. Let's get back because people, it's getting out of hand.
The bottom line is Tiffany is dangerous for Dalton.
Okay.
She's dangerous for Dalton. She's hiring unqualified police officers, unqualified people is in high-paying positions, and the town is suffering. And everybody want to hold the councilman or the committee man to these strict standards when he made a move to get her out, but nobody is looking at how dangerous she is.
I agree.
First of all, when somebody don't pay the fire department, whose job is to risk their life, that's automatically outrageous.
And you know what? I'm sorry to say this, but the fire department should have said if we ain't getting our money, we not answering no calls.
They can't. And that would be the dumbest thing you ever heard when kids is in a burning building. That would be the dumbest thing you ever heard when kids is in a burning building.
What I'm saying is,
hold on now. Didn't the state troopers do that?
If they would have threatened her, she might have changed her mind. Sometimes you can threaten somebody and not go through with it.
She didn't even acknowledge them when they came to the dais and said they little piece.
I saw them look at the council meeting. I saw it.
But didn't the state? Hold one moment. One question. One moment.
Hey, y'all, we
didn't
finna end
the
this.
troopers do that? when
We
they have
finna
that
end this.
budget cut and they can get paid,
Sherry.
they stop coming to work.
Go ahead,
talking
Sherry.
about the fire department.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
talking
She
about
lives
the
in
fire
Dog.
I know, but the
Go- she- we talking about
It's
Dog.
illegal for them to do
together,
that.
right?
They cannot. I don't know
Sorry,
what
they
the police
don't
and fire
understand.
are two
These
different
people-
things.
What do you mean they
Police and
can't
fire.
do
Hold
that?
it.
If Tiffany Henyard is that dangerous, y'all should have handled her.
Wow.
The same way Mayor
Hold
Daley
on. First of all,
handled
hold on.
Tiff.
Let me
Y'all
say
should have
something.
handled her.
Hold it,
They
y'all.
did handle
I'm not
her
gonna
last night
listen.
at the caucus.
Li-
They
listen,
handled her.
listen, listen.
You know what I'm talking about.
Now, hold on, people. Let me just say
No,
this.
I don't. No, I don't.
Sherry, let me say this.
Uh-huh.
You know, I understand. I was there from the beginning. So, you know, I haven't been following lately like that. But, you know, I know you guys have been working from day one when there was no social media people, with no other people weren't even thinking about this. I know you guys put the work in it. I know personally. Trust me. So I'll never doubt the work that you guys have done. Trust me. I was there when
You helped us.
Yeah, I know
Right.
it. I was there with the recall and all that. So I know the work. The outsiders that's looking in, they don't know. So I don't want you guys to be upset. Sheriff, don't be upset because I know. And I'm listen, I know.
Well, I'm not upset,
commend
but
all
what
y'all
I'm
for
saying
doing the
is
work.
Right.
people have to listen. And the police and fire are two different things. First of all, let me just say this to you all, full disclosure. I worked for Dalton Fire Department as the administrative assistant to the chief for 7 years. They cannot strike. They cannot not work. It's against their union contract. Now, what the police and fire do is totally separate. I also dictated the minutes for the Police and Fire Commission committee, so I know this. So what police
So let me ask you a
do
question.
and
If
what-
they went on
could you-
strike, what would have happened to them?
Mama
They
Diva,
can't.
go ahead.
They
I'm
cannot.
trying to-
It's in their contract.
Okay,
I'm
Mother
trying to
Diva,
explain it. I'm
hold
not going
tight.
to keep trying to explain it. I'm not.
Hold
gonna-
tight.
Go, Sherry.
That's what I'm trying to explain. They cannot do that, and they were getting paid. What was happening was their 457 plan, which is a subsidiary insurance plan. They were getting the money. They were paying into it, and the village was not giving it to the actual people that it was supposed to go to. So it wasn't their actual regular pension. And then also what they were doing, and it wasn't just the fire department. The fire department was the only people that spoke up. It was people throughout the village. They were behind on health insurance, which is totally unacceptable. Now,
With pregnant wives.
everybody, exactly. And I know those men personally because I work with them. So again, the fire department was the only people that spoke up. Now it's been six. Jason House got together and he negotiated with them and he got their contract signed because there hadn't been a contract signed. He did that as mayor pro tem. Also, they have caught up on the 457 plan. So all of that stuff is taken care of. But fire departments cannot strike. I mean, people can say what people need to do, but those men, they do have families and they need a paycheck as well.
Well, they
But
should have
that's
all
not the
called
point.
in sick.
Again, they cannot do that because it puts people's lives in danger. So
It puts
if there's
kids'
a fire,
lives, but it's okay for
if
Tiffany
there's-
Henry to put everybody else's life in danger.
I didn't say that, and she's not a firefighter.
Hey, Martin.
But again,
Yeah, hold on.
she is.
Unless
the
she got
firefighter. Okay, well, I guess.
Listen,
listen,
y'all.
And
Yeah. Hold on.
I commend
Hold
everybody
it.
in Dalton
Hold it.
for doing it. I
See,
commend y'all.
Mama Diva, you and Sarge, y'all getting out of order. And I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? This lady, Miss
Okay,
Sherry,
I'm sorry,
I know
Martin,
her
that wasn't
person.
my intention.
Okay, but I'm just saying she lives in Dalton. She knows what's going on. And that's that's why I let her talk to have the floor, asking her so many questions. She's there. She's on ground zero. We getting it straight from the horse's mouth. She's telling you.
Martin,
She have receipts.
I'm commending this lady for doing all the work. I'm praising her for
But,
everything.
Mama
I was
Diva.
just making statements and asking questions. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
I mean, you know, she's trying to tell you that the firemen cannot do what you want them to do. You know, not go to work. And I understand what you're saying. Right. You know, this is not their
I
policy.
wanted to piggyback off of that, sister.
Go ahead, 352. Go ahead.
So just to piggyback, she's exactly right. Just because you have the right to do something or you should do something doesn't mean it's legitimately that you can. She's exactly right. When you collectively bargain, and that's what any union, and I imagine that sister in Dalton, I imagine they're part of the IAFF. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Local
The sister that's the administrative
3766.
assistant.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
correct.
local 3766.
So, for somebody like me that's been in city management or county management, here's the deal. You cannot, especially them public service workers, they can be terminated for cause if they do that, which means they have no paycheck. So just because that's what would happen. And the other deal is she is correct. It is unconscionable. No city administrator, which is why I say again, there should not be a strong mayor. There should be an unelected city administrator that's accountable to the 5 to 7 elected members that should be handling the day-to-day affairs of that township or the village, because that should have never happened. No city administrator that I know of in this country would let their first responders come up there embarrassed. And I was at that meeting to listen to those firefighters come up there and say they don't have health insurance, and some of them had children. Now, if that was our families, we might want to do that. We should never let that happen.
Wait a minute. I remember you. Aren't you from? Where are you from?
I saw him.
Yeah, that's him. The light-skinned brother. The light-skinned brother.
You.
Yeah, he was there when I was there, Sherry.
I was out there.
I was sitting next to you, Sherry.
We were all out there.
Yeah. I told him.
Okay, I remember when you spoke, you gave her the business. Good job. Good job.
He did
I
do that.
gave her the business. And I love the people that don't
enormous pressure. So for the firemen to just jump up and say they going on strike, nobody going to suffer but the residents. She's not going to suffer. So that would, even if they could do that, that still wouldn't even be a logic response.
They wouldn't have did it anyway. I know those guys. But again, they couldn't have even threatened it because all her person next to her would have said that they can't do that.
Yeah, and
the
she
fire
they
chief
can't
would
do
have
that.
told her they can't do that.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of things that she wasn't supposed to do that she did do.
That's correct.
I'm just saying.
I
why she keep it on that caucus floor.
I say get rid of the whole damn town and start fresh.
Hey, y'all, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it.
When it's so many, because there's too many people that's working hard and don't deserve to be gotten rid of, like Kiana Belcher and Jason House. If it wasn't for them and Clerk Key and Brittany Norwood and Tammy Brown, we would be suffering even more. They have put their, but listen, the Democratic Party failed them, if you want to talk about failing somebody, and they are registered Democrats, and they're still working hard.
Okay. Okay. Listen, podcast. This is how we're going to do. I'm finna give everybody. No, hold it, people. We got like about 7 people. I'm finna give everybody 2-3 minutes close out, and that's gonna be it. I'm gonna start with 352. Then I'm gonna go to Sarge. Then I'll go to Mother Diva. Go ahead. 352. We'll give you 2 minutes. We get ready to close out. Your closing remarks.
I need 352 number.
Well, that's on him if he want to give it to you. I'm.
Well, Mark, you gotta give it to me.
No, I can't give it to you. I can't give you his number. Listen. Hold it, y'all. First of all, what I don't do is when people call in, I don't give their numbers out. I don't do that because of confidentiality. I don't really give their names out.
If he said it was okay, Mark, you not listening. I said get his permission.
No. Okay, well, you got to ask him. Ask him. You ask him. How am I get his permission? You ask him. You right here on the line. Go ahead, 352.
I just said I needed somebody wanted to
I'm about to catch the flight back home, but I just want to say to y'all, I truly, Martin, appreciate your show. It's enlightening, and I want to continue listening, and I truly appreciate y'all. I wish I was out there for yesterday's meeting. That was a mess. But I got to tell y'all, even though I came there for the show and the fun, I thought the city of Portsmouth, Virginia was worse than Dalton. Nobody has gotten y'all beat. Y'all, the best show on earth is watching every first Wednesday. But I do hope that there's a clean house, because I love Kiana Belcher, Jason House, I love all of them. Love them all to death. And I also think it's unconscionable that Tiffany Henyard is very disrespectful to that clerk, who's probably old enough to be her mother. Clerk Key. She's disrespectful, and she is not a young lady. She's a middle-aged woman. So I hope y'all get rid of Tiffany Henyard, and I hope she's held accountable. That's all I'll say that.
Amen.
Have a good one.
Okay, Sarge, you're next.
Hallelujah. Praise Joshua.
Sarge, go ahead. Sarge, you got 3 minutes. Whatever.
Okay.
Land that plane.
Okay. Well,
don't come.
Oh yeah. It's good grief. Can I start and finish now? For Dalton to be 90% black with a population of 20,000 people, and for Stone Mountain, Georgia to be 86% black with a population of 6,500 people, boy, do things run smoother down here where I live. I would say people, if they ever get sick and tired enough, pack up and move. You know what I'm saying? Pack up and move, because I'm a firm believer in this. If you sick and tired enough, you leave, right?
Yep. That was my point.
Exactly. If I'm with a woman and she working my nerves to that point, I'ma leave. And vice versa. If I'm irritating the hell out of that woman,
let him talk. It's his turn.
Bro, look, keep the Bible to your Keep the Bible to yourself. I don't believe in it at all.
All right, Sarge, you didn't have to respond. Just go your last comments. Go ahead.
No, that's what I just said. Just so he knows, he keep that to himself. All right, do a DNA test through history and check back and find somebody's living relative that was actually in the Bible, and you can't. So miss me with all that biblical, smiblical, whatever it is, that indoctrinated belief system in this great country we live in that people have fallen for left, right, and center. But that's it. I'm like, hey, when somebody is tired enough of something, they make a change, don't they? Unless they're a damn fool. And as of when I mentioned Paul Vallis, and this is where I am, there was only one situation that occurred with me in Chicago where I was beaten by Chicago police officers. And you know what? They were black. It was at 1122 East 87th Street. When I'm supposed to have been DJing someplace, one of them said something disrespectful to my then wife, and I got in his face, and his other two partners that were there, they jumped me, and they thought they had one, until they realized I come from a police family, and the Office of Professional Standards got in their hind parts, and they lost money behind that case. See? So I ain't never had a problem with white police officers. See? Niggas is where I had my problem at my whole life.
Okay, don't use the N-word.
You know what, man? This brother, you've been drinking or something? My goodness, man. Come on, Mama Diva. Mama Diva. Bro, listen. Hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. Let me say this to you, brother. Most of these people that's on this panel are black. Now, you know.
I'm mixed race.
Right. Well, you mixed. Well, you got black in you too.
I don't claim that.
You don't claim it because of the stereotypes. I know why you don't claim it. I understand. But listen, get pulled over by the police and they're gonna show you who you are.
I never had the problem with the police. Police are my friends.
Okay, well, I'll keep thinking that then. Keep thinking.
Police got help me get to the gas station.
Do a DNA test and see how much doggone European DNA is in your system. Go ahead, bro.
First of all, let me just tell you something.
What you talking about? My great grandmother's from Ireland.
Let me just say something. Black people got the dominant gene. We lay down with anybody. We are the dominant gene. Period. Science proved that. That's right. That's right. Right. Right.
So I got that dominant gene too.
Well, Marcus, go ahead, Marcus. Talk.
Y'all know.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, talk, Marcus.
I'm proud of.
Stop talking, then.
Go ahead, Marcus.
You know what? This was about Tiffany Henyard, but
thank you.
I'm hearing some stuff that kind of disturbed me. First, I hate to see a black woman who had the power to have changed Dalton go down. It's sad. It's so sad. And at first, I was kind of on her side until I went out there and asked my cousin and talked to my cousin. And She's into real estate, and listen to me, because I sit there and listen to you all. You might not agree with what I'm saying, but what I'm about to say, she's into real estate. We talked, and she immediately said, when I mentioned Tiffany Henyard, oh, she's no good. She's no good for Dalton, you know. So I see her leaving up out of there. What I also want to say, I don't care how bad our people are. Like I sacrifice my job in the Park District. I sacrifice my job to help young Black adults and young Black teenagers get off the street. I said the H was insubordination. I wasn't going along with this racist man.
No, but I just paid for my
Now, hold up. Can I talk?
Oh. Okay.
Can I please talk? I don't like to yell. I wasn't going along with Mayor Daley. I didn't vote for Paul Vallis, not because he was white, but because he was a part of the Daley regime. And if it was a Black person that was a part of the Daley regime, I wouldn't have voted for them. There was a lot of Black people who supported Paul Vallis, but they didn't. And then it was Black people in this city that didn't vote for him. Now, yeah, there are Black police officers out here that have the problem, but they're part of the white supremacy system. What more do you expect? If they can get away with it, they'll get away with it. But we cannot hate our own people. We cannot hate our own people by using the N-word, and we expect for these kids to stop using words that demoralize their own people. And we as adults are using the N-word affluently. We're the only race of people that uses a word that was meant to make us look bad, like a figure of speech. It's not. We shouldn't be using this word against each other. I don't care how angry you are with Black people. And Sarge, I'm not picking on you, but it seemed to me like you hate Black people.
Tell the truth.
No, he doesn't.
No, I love Black people.
I know him.
I love Black people.
Why do you talk down about them? We all have our flaws.
I don't talk down
people
about
have
Black
flaws.
I don't talk down about Black people.
Democrats,
okay, but see, it's a difference between Black people and the N-word.
One mic.
Thank you. Why do you seem to talk down about Black people? Show some love sometimes. Maybe you've been
show some love. What?
Hold up,
bruh.
Black people. Show some love sometimes, because it sounds like you hate Black people.
No, I love Black people.
I don't need no response. Don't need no response. I let y'all talk. Let's okay, Mark, you done. Let's go to 215. Yeah. Go ahead, 215. Go. 215, you next. Your closing statement.
Is Sherry still on here?
Sherry, you still on here? She probably not, but go ahead.
Yes, I'm on here.
You still
I'm on here.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sherry, y'all just keep up the fight, because I know it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you can't really say that's going on. And I know that people can't just come and say, oh, we doing this, we doing that. They got to move in silence and make sure they duck lines in the road.
That's true.
And I also know that y'all be out there working, doing the work in the car. I see you in your mink and your bucket hat. Y'all be out there working, you know what I mean? And that's for real, because she working overtime to take the town down, and y'all got to work overtime to save it. And when you're trying to save it the right way, you have to follow protocol and stuff. You can't just jump out there and get her, because if that was the case, y'all could have been got her if y'all was going to do it the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So people need to understand, when you're trying to do things right, you have to follow the process, or that makes you no better than what you fighting against.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, what he did, it wasn't illegal, but it was slick. But he dealing with a slickster.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to get clever to get this thing right, because only people really suffering is y'all. After y'all own y'all house is free and clear, y'all taxes is still like another mortgage.
Mm-hmm. You know,
well, that's
say that
all
again.
over Cook County.
Say that again.
Cook County taxes, property taxes are very high.
But she's piling on to it, though.
She's trying to.
Yeah.
Well,
so my word is for you, as you being in there, save y'all houses, save y'all economy. When I seen them pictures, it looked like a ghost town from all them businesses she done shut down.
Yep.
The whole community is just like dry right now.
Yep.
So
well,
no, whatever.
I agree with Sarge. Maybe y'all need to move.
So no, y'all don't need to move. Y'all need to stand on
Listen.
y'all investment where y'all raise y'all kids and pay for y'all home and get that disease out of there. And that's all I got to say. Y'all
Okay,
go,
thank you.
Sherry.
Thank you. Podcaster, then Sherry last. Go ahead, podcaster. Go ahead, my brother.
All I got to say is Paul Vallis ain't shit, and that nigga Brandon Johnson is coming for him too, because for the simple fact that it takes 1 + 1 = 2, and we all see right through that. Okay, now Tiffany Henyard, to sum it all up, it's unfortunate that we are watching this happen. It has nothing to do with her being a black woman or anything like that, but it all boils down to being responsible, right? When you are in a position of power, such as the memorial seat, right, there are certain responsibilities that you are upheld to. And so I think that it is up to the people to decide whether or not she met those responsibilities. When you do that, you do that at the polling site, right? So I can't vote. My voice doesn't matter. But it's about the residents of Dalton. Obviously, the township have spoken, and their voice has been heard. So now it's up to the resident of Dalton. If you're unhappy, you know what you have to do in order to make a change. But I will say this. Let's not get so focused on Tiffany Henyard that you're not paying attention to who else is up next for the seat, which is Jason House. Have you guys done your homework on him? Are you 100% comfortable with who you want to be the next mayor? Because if this happens
Sherry
again,
said that he was a good.
Hold it, please.
all
Let the brother
over
talk.
again, it's not going to be anything that nobody can do about it, and nobody's really going to care, right? So we have to make sure that we look at the new people that we're going to be voting in. I understand that a couple of the trustees still have a couple of years left. I think a couple of them are up for re-election. Whatever the case is, you want to make sure that you train these people and that you know who they are before they get their asses in the seat. And I yield.
Thank you. Sherry, you got the last word. Go ahead, Sherry.
Okay, well, I want to say, first of all, it's been a very interesting conversation. I actually enjoyed it, and, I'll answer any questions that I can anytime. Yes, we have vetted Jason House. I know I have, and the people in the community that have been fighting have. We had, like I told you guys, he's very transparent. We have community meetings, so we do talk to him. There is a plan. And again, we've been doing this for close to 4 years now. Like I said, Martin was there in the beginning, but we've never stopped. A lot of this is new to people. And when I say new, the last 6 to 8 months, people have been more on the bandwagon than they were before. So, of course, they don't necessarily know the fight and everything we've done. We've done a lot. We've got through a lot of hurdles. What people don't know is a lot of the things that she has done, we have turned around and have corrected. And it's almost over. She's going to be voted out, and it's going to be at the polls. I've been out with the people when they pass petitions. Tiffany could, she had like 55 pages of petitions that she had signed. That's not a lot because she was out every day from sun up to sundown. Excuse me. So, and all of her petitions weren't even totally filled out. So the people are tired and they're ready. We've done everything we needed to do. We've talked, we've reported her. We got a binding decision from the AG's office, which they don't do many of those. So, we're working and it's almost over. So why would we leave or sell our houses and all that crazy stuff when she's only going to be in for one term? She's almost out. We're almost at the end, so now we can just sit back and coast. Grand juries have been formed. The investigations have started. We just have to, take our time and just sit back, do what we need to do and just we know we have to rebuild from the ashes. Somebody even said, so I saw in the comments where they talked about where's the $6.8 million that she was supposed to get. The people at the state level, they're holding that money back because they're not going to give us anything while she is in office, which is a good thing because we'll need it to rebuild. It's bad. It's very bad. And the things that she's done, it's a bit crazy. But again, we're resilient, and Dalton has, people talk about us, but we actually put corruption on the map. I think things will change after this. I think she's going to be made an example of, unfortunately for her and her baby girl, because she's got a beautiful daughter. But at the end of the day, you got to pay. You got to pay. You can't just do things that you've done and just not once has anybody. I challenge anybody to tell me that they've heard her say that she was sorry about anything. She comes into every single meeting. She has never been on time for one meeting. Not one. And not once did she say, I'm sorry for being late. I'm sorry for wasting your time. It's you guys have to just succumb to whatever I want and whatever I need. So be it, no matter what. So at the end of the day, we got this. And it's hard to explain. Social media has blown everything up and, but we trust me, we got it. And again, I understand why people believe that she has a chance because of social media. But down here on the ground, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And it's even more intense than it was. Remember, Martin, when you used to when you were out here more often, you saw how much contempt the community had for what she was doing. I don't want to say they had contempt for her, but for what she was doing. Well, it's even worse now. So no, we got this. But again, I appreciate the conversation. I do think that we have some challenges ahead of us, and I do think that Jason House and his team will be the people that will help us move forward positively.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. That's it, people. I don't have nothing to say.
That township meeting tomorrow. She know they're not going to show up. She going to use it as a chance to rant on about what happened at the caucus for an hour.
Okay, Mama. This over with.
You already know what it is.
It's live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth. And saying the devil. Thank y'all for tuning in, people. I love all of y'all. Thank all my listeners and callers came in and enjoyed the program. Got a little messy, but we got some things accomplished, and I appreciate you, people. This is a platform where the people voice matter. You could be a Democrat, Republican, you could be a Libertarian, whatever, Green Party, whatever. I want us as Black people to come together under one umbrella to find out what we have in common, how we could work with each other. We think different, we do things different, but together, unity. The brother talked about unity the other night, and that's what we need. And I always say that the unity of Black people is a nuclear bomb. That's what it is. I have to say it. Thank y'all so much. Listen, when one stray from the fold, people, we got to do what we have to do, but we can't sacrifice the masses for one person. We have to keep rolling, people. We got a job to do out here. And remember, no party is going to save Black people. We have to do this on our own selves. Not to say that you shouldn't vote, be a Democrat or be a Republican, whatever. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if we need to liberate ourselves, we're going to have to do it ourselves, people, period. Thank you so much.